And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the PlayOnSports.com Friday night game of the week here. We're on a field of dreams of sorts, nothing but honest football. It's a beautiful field out here in southern Sacramento, California. There's generator lights and a scoreboard that's a good 4 feet wide. Greg Cotta alongside Jason Patterson. Jason, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. It's a nice night out here for football, tucked off inside the cornfield. They built it, and we did come. So we're here for a good night of football. A little Bradshaw Christian Pride versus the Highlands Scots here in Sacramento. So a little interested to see how this game goes.
Yeah, the Scots coming in with an overall record of 4-4, 3-1 in league, while the home team, the Bradshaw Pride, are 3-4 overall and 2-1 in their league. Now, Jason, we had the opportunity to watch Bradshaw Christian play prior, and they had a stud of a running back, number 24 for the team, Jacoby Hawkins. However, he is not suited up tonight, so we're going to see a big variation across the offense. Now, it looks like the Highlands Scots are going to be kicking off from right to left. It's going to be a squib kick, bouncing over to number 31 for Bradshaw Christian. He's going to go up the middle, get to near the 30-yard line. And on the return was Luis Romero.
Yeah, we have a couple names to look out for tonight. We have Logan Newton, who is their backup running back for Bradshaw Christian Pride. He's going to have to step it up to fill the shoes of number 24, Jacoby Hawkins. Like you said, last time we seen Jacoby Hawkins was the stud for the Pride. He was constantly running the ball, and I'm a little ashamed to see him not suited up tonight. From what I heard from the coaches down on the field, he might have missed a practice, so just a little bit of disciplinary action for him not suiting up tonight. But nonetheless, let's see how the Pride carries on without him.
Again, back to that factor of honest football. Good things going here. Kevin Williams, the quarterback, under center. Now he's going to fake a handoff and throw to the outside. Hits his receiver. Getting to the 37-yard line is number 8 for the Pride, Kyle Betts.
Yeah, that was a good reception by Kyle Betts. He just ran out to the flats, turned around. The ball was right there for him. That's one guy we're going to look out for the deep ball. He's already got one long pass for the Pride throughout this year already. I believe he caught, let me see, I got it right here. Give me 1 second. He caught a 66-yard touchdown already, so he's one of the deep threats for the Pride.
Again, under center is Williams, except it's going to be a quick handoff to number 10, Logan Newton.
Logan Newton on the carry.
And he's going to sweep over to the left side. It's going to be 2nd and 10 now.
Yeah, that's the number we want to look out for tonight is number 10, Logan Newton, trying to step up and fill the shoes of Jacoby Hawkins.
So a bit of a squad formation change as out onto the field comes Gabe Miranda. Kevin Williams coming back to the center of the field with the play. Now a tight formation here for Bradshaw Christian. Only it's going to be an end around to number 7, Grant Dragmeyer. But again, stopped by the Scots defense. It's going to be 3rd and long.
Brought down by number 4.
Yeah, that was good defense by the Highland Scots there, and they were able to get over there and take the ball carrier down.
On the play brings up a 3rd down.
It looks like they only gave up 5 yards here. It's a big 3rd down, trying to get their defense off the field early here.
So 3rd and 5. The tailback for Bradshaw Christian looks like he's going to take it up the middle, and he may have gotten a 1st down.
To number 8, Kyle Betts.
Yeah, looks close.
That was a pass actually to Kyle Betts.
And they are going to give him the
And they are going to give it to him.
Very nice.
55, Junior Jenkins on the tackle. Gain of 5 yards results in a Pride 1st down.
So I've noticed the Pride is a quite smaller team, not very in size, but in numbers compared to the Highlands.
Definitely. Only about 26 people on this Pride roster. However, they do not seem to let it worry them as a draw goes to the right side, 2nd and 10.
On the quarterback keeper.
Now, Kevin Williams decided to keep it himself there. It is an option. Now, we have seen this formation before, Jason, where they have that tight formation where the tailback, instead of being about 4 or 5 yards deep, is only about 2 to 3. And then they have a lot of options for end-arounds. Different receivers can come take the ball. And they're at the beginning of the formation. Here's actually 2 backs. And a hard count clearly sends, I'd say, 5 of the Scots across the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, at least that. Getting back to what you were talking about here, I got Kevin Williams. He's also the 2nd leading rusher for the Pride. So Like you said, they do a lot of misdirection and a lot of quarterback keepers. He's got 497 yards and 3 touchdowns on the year. So behind Jacoby Hawkins, he is their leading rusher at the moment.
So here's going to be a run up the middle. Draw play from the tailback. Looks like he's going to gain 1 or 2 yards according to this referee on our side.
That was Logan Newton on the
And on the other side, there's a fumble called, and that is actually going to be a turnover. So the Highlands Scots were able to pick up a ball that we apologize, we could not see from here. However, here comes the Bradshaw defense, and the Highlands Scots get to get their first look on offense.
So that was Logan Newton on the carry who coughed that ball up for the Pride. Like I said, that was a number we have to watch throughout this game, so maybe he's feeling it already and coughs the ball up early in this game.
Now, speaking of numbers to watch, we have a flea flicker here going back to John Abelos, and he's going to throw deep. He's got his receiver at around the 10-yard line. What a beautiful play, stays on his feet. And this is a completely different ball game, Jason. Looks like the ball's around the 12-yard line.
Yeah, they came out right off the bat and threw it to their deep threat, Dominic Fuse. Already, he's got a couple long bombs for the Scots throughout this whole year. And right there on the first play of the flea flicker, he's wide open on the right side of the field, and they get a big gain and already in the red zone.
8:55 on the game clock after that big play, and it's going to be a draw up the middle for number 8. Jesse Altamirano.
That was actually John Avalos who kept onto the ball. The quarterback took it in on the quarterback keeper. Very nice misdirection. Even fooled my buddy and myself up here. So obviously, if they're fooling us, they're fooling people on the field, and it was able to get 6 points because of it.
I sure hope to think so. I like to think that that I have enough wisdom on the game to keep up as well. However, the real gladiators on the field seem to be able to stay on top of it. Now, in shotgun is Jesse Altamirano, and he's going to take the ball himself, jumping. And he looks like he's stopped short. So it looks like we actually had a touchdown there, as the score is 6-0, and that was a failed 2-point conversion. So dusting the rust off as I get looks from the whole booth because they all knew it.
Yeah, that was John Abelos on the quarterback keeper for a touchdown for the Scots. He's also their leading rusher and their leading passer, and I'm sure if he could throw the ball to himself, he would manage to do that as well. I'm looking here at the stats, and this kid can do it all. John Abelos, number 1 for the Scots, is definitely a number to look out for in the white jerseys. We do have the North Highlands Scots now leading 6-0 over the Bradshaw Pride. We got the Highland Scots wearing the white jerseys with the red trim, and the Bradshaw Christian Pride wearing the purple jerseys with the gold trim.
8:49 on the clock now. And here comes the kickoff from the 40, and it's going to go back deep to the top of your screen. And again, here comes Luis Romero, and he's going to stay on his feet for quite a while there, but he eventually gets brought down around the 25-yard line.
Yeah, made a couple of side steps, very nice. He was able to get a couple of missed tackles, got the ball past the 20, and it's always nice. He started, it looks like, about the 25-yard line for the Bradshaw Christian Pride.
So here comes Kevin Williams trying to make another opportunity. Remember, they did have a turnover on their first drive of the game, and the Highlands were able to turn that into points against them. One wide receiver over to the bottom of your screen, that is Josh Catt. But it is going to be a run that looks like it's stuffed in the backfield. Loss of 2, 2nd and 12 now. Let's try to get to know the Highlands High Scots defense a little bit better. I've seen a lot of work coming from their middle linebacker, Junior Jenkins, listed at 6 feet, 225. And boy, is he keeping an eye on this trickery style running game. Now here's Williams. And he's going to drop back and he's going to throw, and he finds his target. Staying on his feet, breaking around the corner is Luis Romero. Breaking down past the 40, finally brought down at the 30-yard line. Beautiful play, showing his strength. Luis Romero, a tight end / safety, listed at 5'11", 170, but he looked a lot bigger on that play. First down and then some for Bradshaw Christian.
Yeah, that was just plain old heart there for Bradshaw Christian. Kept his feet moving, got that play. Looked real good, did the Pride on that play.
And on that note, a timeout is going to be called on the field. But it looks like the Highlands High School Scots. And again, let's get to know these teams a little bit better. As we mentioned, John Avalos, #1 on the jersey and #1 on the team, listed as a quarterback, wide receiver, and defensive back. He is a senior. And honestly, that kid, he really does it all. I was watching him during warm-ups, Jason, and he was throwing, he was catching, he was running. It looks like he is very comfortable in every position on the field.
Yeah, I agree. The kid's definitely seeming like an all-star. We've only seen, I think, 3 plays from scrimmage from the Scots, and both of them he looked great. And then I guess it was 3 counting the 2-point conversion, but still, all the plays that I've seen so far by John Avalos is nothing solid.
As the pitch goes back to Grant Dragmeyer.
Grant Dragmeyer
He's going to get the ball to the 22-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 2 now after that quick end around.
Yeah, nice little 2nd and short. Definitely what you want to do on 1st down is pick up a couple of yards, make 2nd or 3rd down a little bit more manageable. Good play by the Pride.
Again, a rather short team for Bradshaw Christian. However, a lot of them have size, and boy, do they have speed. End around going to Kyle Betts. Speaking of speed, but we do have a flag coming from the secondary as the signal goes to the head referee, and we'll wait just a moment to figure out what exactly the call is. And the penalty is going to go in favor of the Pride.
Substitution infraction against Highlands.
As there was a substitution infraction.
5-yard penalty.
As I had to rack through my brain there a bit, and luckily the PA helped me out, as that's not a penalty motion I see too often from a referee.
Yeah, you had a blank look on my face as well. I had no idea.
Kevin Williams is going to fake a handoff to the end, but he's actually going to go with his tail back up the middle. Again, looks like Luis Romero. That's going to make
Logan
it,
Newton on the carry.
or pardon, that was Logan Newton, #10. And the ball is going to get to the 15-yard line, 2nd down.
So I'm going over the roster here for the Pride, and I'm noticing a lot of 5s on the heights. A lot of 5'8", 5'9", 5'8", 5'9" everywhere. So
as it looks like we were able to get the Bradshaw Christian was able to get Highlands to jump offsides one more time with a hard count. As it seems like Kevin Williams is really using that to his advantage. So another penalty on the Scots makes it 2nd and shorter. As the cheerleaders pick up, quite a large cheerleading squad here. And for those of you who have not been able to tell, as a run gets stuffed up the middle, maybe a gain of 1 or 2, but it is homecoming week here at Bradshaw Christian. Plenty of parents and a handful of alumni for this young school here.
Yeah, there's a lot of people here for homecoming night here.
Generator lights and lots of standing room. They are very proud of this new field, and they have reason to be. It's again, an honest field, very pretty, just good old-fashioned football. So 3rd down and short, near the goal line, is going to be stuffed by the entire Highlands defense.
I'm glad they knew who to tackle, because I had no idea who had the ball on that play.
It's good to have a spying middle linebacker on that, as we mentioned earlier, Junior Jenkins. It looks like he's the one who's keeping a spying eye and using his height to his advantage to be able to see who has the ball, and I'm sure he's calling out the number as soon as he knows, or maybe even the direction. So
it's a big 4th down here for the Pride.
Big 4th down for the Pride indeed, and that is why it looks like they are going to use their first timeout. So both teams have used timeouts with 5:19 on the clock. 6-0 is the lead for the Scots.
Ladies and gentlemen, just want to remind you that
do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
So the coaches are talking it over at this point. It looks like they decide to not go for a field goal, but again, looking at it from 4th down. Ball is around the 10-yard line. It would be about a 25-yard field goal for the team's kicker, Jennifer Lawrence. pardon, Jennifer Lawson. My apologies.
Yeah, and you said the prior game that we did that she was number 7 in the nation for female kickers.
That was a stat that I tripped across, especially as an extra point kicker. She is the one who has been doing this for several years now for the team. On 4th down, throwing to the outside, an incomplete pass from Kevin Williams.
Pass intended for Kyle Betts.
Intended for Kyle Betts, one of the team's captain. It's going to be a turnover downs. Second turnover for Bradshaw Christian.
Yeah, Williams had Betts over there in the corner. Betts just couldn't turn around and locate the ball. I might have lost it in one of these lights. These lights are a little bit lower than ones normally on top of a stadium, so maybe a couple of high passes could be lost in the lights. Maybe that's something we'll notice throughout this game. But nonetheless, the turnover on downs, the Scots trying to go down and put more points up and keep this Bradshaw Christian Pride team at bay.
So we get to see John Avalos one more time as he comes from the shotgun formation, and boy, does he have speed. He is burning down the field, past the secondary, gets to the 28-yard line.
On the keeper.
And he, with that keeper, completely changed field position. I'm a little stunned. That guy has speed.
That was like the exact play that they got the touchdown on. With those 2 carries now, he's over 700 yards for the season and 8 rushing touchdowns. So obviously a big attack on the ground is John Avalos. That was a run by number 8, Jesse Altamirano. He was met by a lot of pride, and they were able to take him down for a minimal gain.
Brought down by number 51.
I believe that was actually Greg Eason, number 6. Jesse Altamirano is the back that we typically see. But Greg Eason, definitely large, 6'2", 205, looks extra large, standing next to John Avalos, who's listed at 5'10". And Avalos is going to keep it again himself. He's going to get past the line of scrimmage, 3rd and long. 4:17 on the clock as the Highland Scots still hold on to the small lead of 6-0.
Yeah, going again over these stats, John Avalos has an average yards per carry of 8.8. So anytime he pulls the ball down, decides to run, he's pretty much good for a first down, so something to watch.
Avalos has 3 wide receivers to his left, and he misses all of them. That was intended for Jonathan Altamirano, brother, obviously, of Jesse Altamirano.
Yeah, maybe that's why John Avalos decides to run the ball a lot. He had his receiver pretty wide open and just happened to miss the pass, so I've noticed, man, that sounds a whole lot better.
As we thank Will McCombs, our producer, for fixing that minor error in our broadcasting quality. Of course, on camera is Team Tim King. We're all glad to be a team out here on this Friday night evening. 3:57 on the clock as the punting unit comes out. Low snap bounce, but the punt gets up. High punt landing around the 50-yard line, and it's going to bounce its way, generous bounce, to just past the 35.
Down the ball.
Yeah, that was a very nice punt there. It looks like by number 21, Jonathan Altamirano, he was able to get that punt up. The Bradshaw Christian Pride was able to get in there, a good penetration. It was a bad snap, it bobbled, but the punter was able to get that ball straight into the air and netted quite a bit of yards. That was a pretty solid punt there by the Scots. So let's see how Bradshaw Christian does. They were able to get the ball back into their offense's hands. They need to go down and get points, but good job by the defense to get the ball back.
Yeah, it was a good stop, especially because their offense seems to be having trouble once they get down to the red zone. And it looks like a draw up the middle is going to be the final call there.
Logan Newton.
That going to Logan Newton, one of the team's captains.
Number 22, Tyrone.
I've noticed that the Highland Scots are pretty quick to the ball here on defense. Not too many people running down wide open, I guess you could say, for the Pride. Anytime you see a purple jersey, there's a white jersey real close to it. So pretty good defense so far by the Scots.
Now number 6 for the Scots is Greg Eason, who we've seen run the ball a bit, and he is also coming on the end side. So that's going to be a pass to Kyle Betts. Stays on his feet,
number 8, Kyle Betts.
And it looks like he's going to get the first down.
Yeah, that was a good play by Betts. He was able to come around out here on the close side of the field, turn around, and the ball was well placed by Williams, and they were able to pick up the first down, move those chains, exactly what they want to do. They just need 10 yards pretty much every 3 plays, keep moving those chains, keep their defense resting and drinking water.
And they're going to push up the middle for a quarterback keeper. Kevin Williams going to keep it himself and gain about 3 or 4. Now, as you mentioned earlier, Jason, there are several 5-somethings in terms of the height of Bradshaw Christian. And I want to point out the free safety, Dominic Fuse, is listed at 6'1". And in many football situations that isn't too tall, but looking at this field, he looks ginormous. And around 2, Grant Dragmeyer. And he's going to get a solid gain on that, 3rd and short.
Yeah, definitely. When all the people are standing together in a big scrum in the middle of the field, you notice the white helmets more than the purple helmets because they're cowering over them. But definitely what Bradshaw Christian lacks in height, they bring back in heart, and they definitely show it. Every game I've seen them play so far, they have not let down, not once. So it's always interesting to watch them play.
And around now again, this time to Gabe Miranda for Bradshaw Christian. He's going to get that 1st down.
4-yard gain.
And we stop the clock to move the chains at 2 minutes and 1 second. Again, 6-0 is still the lead here. Ball's placed at the 40.
Pretty good drive here so far by the Pride, just getting 1st down after 1st down. Kind of methodical offense here, constantly moving the ball. Exactly what they want to do. Keep that defense on the field, keep them off balance, and keep them breathing hard, keep driving it right down their throats. So very nice play so far on this drive by the Pride.
Tailback is Romero, but it's going to be a throw down the sideline to him.
Pass intended for number 31, Luis Romero.
Yeah, that was into double coverage, and he kind of led him a little bit much.
A little bit, definitely.
Yeah, that kid, he had to eat rocket fuel to catch up to that ball.
On the coverage. Brings up 2nd down and 10.
So 2nd and 10 now, definitely a gutsy play call for Kevin Williams. I mean, it seems like he went with his first read, felt the pressure, and decided to lob it up. Kind of it is a mistake. However, they lucked out. Now, with 1:35 on the clock, they have another opportunity on 2nd down.
I always say if you're going to air one out, might as well do it on 1st down.
And it looks like they are going to run again, running into all of the bodies for the Scots. One I would like to point out is number 75, David Alexander, one of the larger bodies down on the line. Goodness, there are some big kids on the Scots roster.
Yeah, David Alexander is listed here as a sophomore at 6'3", 260 pounds. That's a pretty big sophomore who was able to get a lot of penetration and disrupt that run play there.
Again, tight formation, almost looks like a victory one. Double handoff. It's going to be handed to number 8, Kyle Betts, and he's going to hand it off to Grant Dragmeyer, but no luck. 3rd and 11.
On the carry.
As Kevin Williams
No gain on the play.
steps aside to fix his shoulder pads and also get a play call.
Yeah, that's one thing that the size might affect here is that run game. When you got a bunch of bigger bodies in there for the Scots, they're able to fill holes a little bit better, and it might affect the whole run game for the Pride. So let's see how they turn around and maybe adjust to that.
And also with the team running the option like this, size helps a lot because you can see over the offensive line. You can see who has the ball. You have nobody to really hide behind. However, Bradshaw Christian still driving. 18 seconds left in the 1st quarter. Now, Williams is going to roll out, and he's going to stay on his feet, throws downfield. Caught! It's caught by number 31 again. Luis Romero is going to get inside the 10. The clock is going to stop at 10 seconds in order to move the chains. However, it's going to be 1st and 10, and I'm assuming once the chains are set, we're going to go to the end of the 1st quarter unless Bradshaw Christian gets a playoff in the next 4 seconds.
Yeah, that was Dominic Fuse who was able to get a hand on it for the Scots. He tipped it right into the hand of Romero, who was able to get that nice catch. So nonetheless, a good try by Fuse to get up there and try to knock that ball down, but he tipped it right into Romero's hand for a big gain for Christian Pride. It's exactly what they wanted to do to end the 1st quarter. They're going to try to come back, start the 2nd quarter with points on the board.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have a lot of opportunity, and the 2nd quarter is going to be very important because they did decide to receive at the beginning of the game.
PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
As we move to the opposite side of the field, so Bradshaw Christian is going to be driving from right to left across your laptop computer keyboards. Thank you so much again, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. Greg Cotta, Jason Patterson, Will McCombs on production, and Tim King on the camera work. Beautiful Friday night here.
One thing I have noticed so far is the Pride are feeling the effects of not having Jacoby Hawkins suited up. They haven't been able to get too many yards on the ground without their leading rusher out there. So let's see if that's one thing they can't pick up here and start the second quarter.
Now 12 minutes set on the fresh clock in the second quarter. Again, plenty of fans out here for such a small school. It seems like a very strong community where everybody comes out on Friday night. And it's going to be a run up the middle for Bradshaw Christian on that 1st and goal from the 10.
Carry up the right side.
And that is going to go to the right side. 11:45 on the clock now. And that was Dragmeyer on the carry, coming from the outside, second down.
Gain of 3 yards on the play brings up second down and 7.
7 yards to the end zone, 11:30 on the clock.
Second down goal.
Williams under center. And he's going to keep it himself, plowing, fighting to get to the outside. And my apologies, he actually did hand that ball off to Kyle Betts.
Yeah, it almost it looked like a pitch.
7, Sean Walker on the tackle.
And what I did like seeing there, because I didn't notice it initially, however, Kevin Williams, the reason why he was running forward, I thought he had the ball, but he was actually doing lead blocking as a quarterback. One of my top 5 favorite things to see in sports is a quarterback lay out for a block.
Yeah, I agree, definitely.
Logan Newton, the tailback. Williams under center, and it's going to go to, looks like he's going to keep it himself.
On the carry for a touchdown.
It was actually a double handoff.
Double
to Kyle
handoff
Betts
indeed.
First, and then to Dragmeyer for the touchdown.
Kyle, so from Williams to Betts to Dragmeyer is Bradshaw Christian's first touchdown at 6-6. And here comes out Jennifer Lawson, number 50, for the extra point.
It's like a 5-4-3 double play in baseball. Everybody got a little piece of that one. Nice teamwork by the Pride to put 6 points up. Let's see if we can't get the number 7 girl kicker in the nation to put one between these posts and take the Pride up by 1 point.
Jennifer Lawson also on the school's soccer team. As the kick goes up and so does a flag, it is good.
There's a penalty flag.
And the referee is saying, the white hat head referee is saying it's good as well. So we'll have to wait and see if it's going to be a decline penalty or they're going to have to kick this again.
One thing I did notice, Greg, is on the Bradshaw Christian JV team, they also had a female kicker. So out here at Bradshaw Christian High School, they like to get their females involved in their football, which if you ask me is absolutely awesome because females in football should definitely be mixed more often.
I think so. I mean, if you can kick a ball, you should be able to kick a ball, and I think that is the consensus out here, and it's good to see. Again, I'm going to jump back to it all night, just nothing but honest football out here out of Bradshaw Christian. So they're calling them back. It looks like a penalty is going to be on the Highlands Scots. However, I think that Bradshaw Christian wants to do it again, possibly go for 2 from the 1 yard line.
Because the penalty was a dead ball foul.
Yeah, I think you agree. Jennifer Lawson's walking off the field with her head held down a little bit. It looked like she wanted to kick that extra point, but it looks like they are going to send their offense back out there and try to get 2 and go up 8-6.
So, looks like the typical formation here for Williams, but this time behind him is Logan Newton. Logan Newton standing shallow of the 5 yard line. It's going to be an end around and a fallen soldier is Grant Dragmeyer.
2-point conversion is no good.
And the 2-point conversion is no good, so they decided to gamble and go for 2 after succeeding with the 1. And now it's tied 6-6 instead of 7-6.
I guess they felt like they had a little bit of playroom since they had missed their 2-point conversion, did the Scots. So I definitely don't dislike the call. It's worth going up to possibly 2 points because if you do it one more time, then you're up a score and a field goal. So
Exactly.
So not a bad choice. Too bad it didn't pan out.
I always appreciate ambitious coaching. Drew Rickert, the head coach for Bradshaw Christian. 10:44 on the clock. 6-6 is the score now. We've got a close one here in Sacramento, California, just near Elk Grove, also even considered Vineyard. We're in that area of Sacramento, California, where it's all technically Sacramento, but the locals around here, we have different words for everything.
Yeah, to me it's all Sacramento, Carmichael, North Highlands, everything. It's all Sacramento to me, but you definitely passed a couple city limit signs driving here. Nonetheless, an awesome night for football. Not too hot, not too cold, not too windy. It's just a beautiful night for football here.
Armando Velarde is going to kick an onside kick, and it bounced to the 40, and it looks like the Scots are able to get on it. Great bounces, opportunity for Bradshaw, however. More risk-taking coming from Bradshaw Christian, perhaps flexing their muscles a bit in front of this homecoming crowd.
Yeah, I like that decision there. I definitely do. Number one for Bradshaw Christian, Josh Catt looked like he possibly had an opportunity at that. He was looking at that like a kid in the candy store. His eyes were nice and wide. He was excited, just wasn't able to locate the ball in time. Nonetheless, pretty good decision. I like it. Let's see how the defense holds up now, though.
As Avalos drops back, and he's going to find his target. Altamirano, the Jonathan Altamirano, is going to catch the ball at the 31. And that's an easy first down for the Scots.
Yeah, that was a good throw by Avalos. He had a lot behind that one. What I like to call it, put a lot of mustard on that one. It zipped in there. It was a good pass, good catch. Overall, good play by the Scots, moving those chains.
Altamirano lined up in the slot, and it's going to actually be a run for Avalos. Is going to keep it himself, and it looks like he gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Kiave Ifan on the tackle. He was able to get there and get that shoestring tackle. Just never let go of the foot, and he took him down for a minimal gain, so we got a 2nd and 9. A good play there by Kiave Ifan.
Now, Avalos is going to stand in shotgun formation. However, Bradshaw Christian is going to take another timeout.
So that's their second timeout here with 10 minutes, 2 seconds to go in the first half. So only one timeout left to go for the Pride. PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championships events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here. Also, don't forget to stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com postgame show, where we will select our player of the game, as well as wrap up all the action from this ball game. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
10:02 on the clock. Again, Bradshaw Christian already using 2 of their timeouts. The Highland Scots have used 1. Shotgun formation for Avalos. And he's going to roll out to his left side where he has his receivers. Wide open target is Azir Price.
That's completed. Number 4 is Azir Price.
Yeah, he was wide open across the middle. I don't know if that was blown coverage or just an overall good offensive play call, but nonetheless, Price was wide open across the middle. Avalos was able to complete that pass, move the chains. It looks like it's just outside the 15-yard line.
Now this time, same play, but to the opposite side. He looks like he's going to keep it himself. Hard hit coming from the runner, Avalos, as he steamrolls his opponent, number 4, Josh Criswell.
Yeah, that's exactly what I like to see out of a quarterback. He kept the ball. He was out there. He ran into a wall of 4 jerseys, and instead of slowing down, he ended up running faster and put his head down and said, if you're going to tackle me, you're going to have to do it. So good play by Avalos, keeping his head down and trying to get as many yards as possible.
Pistol formation from Avalos as we get a flag here. And I think somebody on the defense jumped. And indeed, it is an encroachment on the defense. So that is going to get them nearly a first down, I believe. I think it's going to be 2nd and 1 or perhaps a 1st and goal.
Yeah, it's close. I think it is going to be a 2nd and 1 as we have the marker over there. It's like a 2nd and short, 2nd and 1.
Now, to the right of your screen is number 2, Dominic Fuse. And we have another flag coming out.
Yeah, it looks like.
And this is a false start, so the penalty is undone, 2nd and 6.
Yeah, that was number 50, Johnny Delgado, who jumped early for the Scots on that one. We had a couple Pride members over there jumping around trying to figure out exactly which hole they were going to cover, and Delgado got a little bit excited and wanted to block one of them right away instead of waiting for that ball to get into his quarterback's hand. Nonetheless, 2nd and 1 turns into a 2nd and 6 again, so let's see if the Scots pick this up.
Highlands, that's their
so we have a timeout by Highlands.
The Highlands are going to take their 2nd timeout, so both teams only with 1 timeout remaining as a 9:09 is on the clock. 6-6 is still the score here. It's a tight one out in Sacramento, California.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows all schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
So the huddles are forming up on opposite sides of the field. Now it's interesting to see both teams comfortable using so many timeouts. And we'll see if that comes back to bite either of them in the last 9 minutes of this 2nd quarter.
Yeah, I agree. 9 minutes left to go in the first half, and both teams only with 1 timeout. Definitely not something you normally see, but let's see if that bites either one of them.
Speaking of things we don't normally see, interesting formation to the left of us, or to the left side of the field is Sean Walker's lineup, but it does not matter. It's just distraction. It's a quarterback draw for John Abalos. Touchdown for the Scots.
Yeah, that's his 9th rushing touchdown of the year for John Abalos. So obviously a weapon for the Scots. Just constantly moving the ball. If he's not passing it, he's running it. Yeah, I'm looking here at the stats, and the only buddy closest to him has 3 rushing touchdowns. So he is just their rusher, their passer. He is their overall all-star.
As it looks like the Scots have too many people on the field, but they're able to catch it in time. The kick goes up for Jonathan Altamirano, and it's good. So 13-6 is the score with 9:05 on the clock. Now it kind of seems like Bradshaw Christian, Jason, is really moving up the field, playing consistent football, and they're doing well. However, they're having trouble stopping one person on the opposing side.
Yeah, anytime John Abalos touches the ball, it's pretty much dangerous times for the Pride. It's kind of hard to watch a quarterback who's got so many abilities. He can pull it down, run for it. He can pull it down, run to the line of scrimmage, and throw the ball 90 yards down the field. Kid's got a pretty good arm on him, pretty good legs, and a pretty good mind to go with it. So kid's an all-around good football player. It's hard to compete against that because you can't just stick your whole team on one player. And next thing you know, there's people running open downfield. So
2 back to return for Bradshaw Christian. Now it seems like they're a little bit ready for an onside. Worried about their own medicine here.
Betts and Romero back to receive for the Pride.
Now, Betts and Romero are back to receive to the right. Romero being the kicker to the right of your scheme, but it's going to go back to Betts into the end zone. He watches it bounce, and it's going to be a touchback.
Pride will take over at their own 20-yard line.
That was a pretty good kick there by the Scots.
That definitely was. That had a lot of boom to it. It was I kind of expected it to be catchable, but even Betts knew that one was going to keep going.
Speaking of kicks, I don't know if you paid attention in Spokane, Washington last night. A kid kicked a 67-yard field goal with 2 seconds left to tie the game for his team, and they went on to win the game in overtime. Yeah, 67-yard field goal. A high school kid out of Spokane, Washington.
Unreal. Now, can you imagine actually, like if after your kicker does that, you can't lose. Like, you owe the entire game to him. Like,
yeah.
you have to win in overtime after a kick like that. So here is Bradshaw Christian, and it's going to be a fake and then a pass over to Betts to the outside, gain of about 14. Looks like he's going to be marked around 13, judging by the far sideline ref. But it's a first down regardless.
Yeah, we've seen that play a couple times by the Pride. It seems to work every time. I kind of would go back to it maybe a few more times until these Scots pick up on it. Anytime they've gone to Betts on that little outplay, maybe a little curl to the outside, he's been right there and able to pick up first down pretty much any time they've thrown him the ball.
Now on the bottom of your screen is Josh Catt, but it's going to be a run up the middle.
Kevin Williams.
That was a quarterback keeper. They've run that play a couple times on first down. I don't know if I like it. They gain only 2 to 3 yards pretty much every time. I don't know if that's enough. I'd give the ball to my running back and let it see what he can do.
Yeah, this time a gain of 4, but agreed it's typically 2 or 3. Perhaps they feel more comfortable in their offense just attempting to gain 5 or 6 yards. Here's now going to be a pitch to Dragmeyer. And he made some progress, but it was pushed backwards. Stopped around the 38.
Dragmeyer on the carry.
Yeah, that was interesting. He went into the pile. I was expecting to see a purple jersey come out of the pile. And the next thing you know, he's being thrown down back where he went to enter the pile.
It seemed like somebody definitely picked him up by the numbers and pushed him backwards.
Yeah, he's seen a hole, and then next thing you know, the hole was filled with a white jersey, and he was being driven backwards. A good defense by the Scots on that play.
Down on the line is Michael Montana, and he is also big, but this time it's going to be a throw again to Betts.
Pass intended for Betts is incomplete.
It's an incomplete pass with clock stopping at 7:51.
Bring up 4th down.
And that's going to bring up 4th down, and this may even be go for it territory for the way that Bradshaw Christian has been playing so aggressively with 2-point conversion attempt and an onside kick attempt. There's a good chance that they'll be going for this.
Yeah, on that last play, it really shows how height can affect a football team. The quarterback was barely able to see over the defensive line, and he wasn't able to make a good enough throw on his receiver open in the flat. So just something to pay attention to, the height coming into effect.
End around going to Betts, and he's going to get stuffed by a handful of Scots, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. Good field position for the Scots and the lead, 7:47 on the clock.
Yeah, that was led by Jonathan Altamirano there. He was able to get in the backfield, take that ball carrier down, look like for a loss.
Again, if you're on the homecoming court or participating in the halftime festivities,
that's going to be a turnover on downs, and the Scots are going to get the ball with really, really good field position on the 36-yard line, it looks like. So let's see if they can't get these 36 yards and put some points up going into halftime, seeing as the Pride will receive the ball to start the second half.
Kind of a pistol formation for Abelos, and he's going to pitch it back to Eason. Eason stays on his feet for around 10 yards. Great run on his part. More importantly, great blocking.
Yeah, good blocking, good run, just good play by the Scots. I got Greg Eason listed here, 6'2", 205 pounds, but he moves those 205 pounds. He makes himself look like a big boy out there and keeps those feet moving and gains a lot of yards. 3
wideouts to his right, 1 to his left. Here's Abalos. He's going to decide to keep it himself despite all of his options, and man, is he running. 10-yard line, end zone. 3rd touchdown for him on the day. 19-6 with 7:10 on the clock.
Wow. He had that ball completely tucked into his running back's belly, decided that it was not going to work, took it out of his running back's hands, took it down, picked up a key block on the outside, and was able to gain a lot of yards and the points. Man, that's his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. That kid is just unstoppable on the ground coming out of the quarterback position. He was clear, I'd say, from 10 yards outside. Here's the extra point now, and it is good. So 20-6 is the score, and we're still kind of early in the second quarter, but this game's starting to slip away from Bradshaw Christian. Yeah, I agree. Definitely starting to rack up the points are the Scots. PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Now to our side of the field again, returning is Luis Romero. Far side being Kyle Betts. Both of them have shown great speed on both offense and defense. Kyle Betts, as you mentioned earlier, Jason, a deep threat for the Pride. Yeah, he's definitely got some speed, as does Romero, as we've seen earlier in the game with Romero with that long reception. So Jonathan Altamirano kicking off from the 40, and that ball is lost in the lights, but Betts is going to find it as it
touchback.
Looks like he called a fair catch. I believe the rule in high school football is anytime the ball is kicked into the end zone, it is an automatic touchback. So, because he looked like he wanted to return that one, and it was definitely in that gray area. Maybe he didn't know where his feet were. Yeah. So the referees called that one a touchback because I think his feet were in the end zone.
nonetheless, let's see if the Pride can't try to make up some of this deficit, down 20-6. 7 minutes, 9 seconds to go in the first half. And the Highlands will take their last timeout of the half.
Timeout called by the
7
Scots.
minutes, 9 seconds to go in the
That's
half, and they are out of timeouts. So a lot of early timeouts here by both teams.
Now, perhaps, I mean, with a 20-6 lead, it seems a little bit less crucial. However, it's still dangerous. I mean, throughout football, coaches tend to like to save their timeouts for at least the last 2 minutes. They like to have all three, but they'd be glad to have two.
Yeah, most of the time when you see these early timeouts, it's a miscommunication and wrong plays called in, or somebody said this and we think he said this. So definitely maybe a communication issue between the play caller and the quarterback, as we see the coach out there talking to his looks like one of his guys on defense. So something to look at for the second half, see how they use their timeouts.
He was talking to Jesse Altamirano on the team. Altamirano listed as a quarterback, wide receiver, and linebacker. Typically 3 different sizes, however, he seems comfortable doing all of it. Kevin Williams under center. And it's going to be a draw. No, my apologies, an end around. Somehow number 7 for the team snuck by Grant Dragmeyer. Dragged down at the 24-yard line. That was a Houdini move right there.
Yeah, and it worked so well they could have drove the whole homecoming floats through that hole through the middle. That was a huge hole. I mean, I could have run my big-bodied self through that hole. That was huge. That was a great play by the Pride. I was just about to say another stuffed run play, and little did I know we've got Dragmeyer running through the biggest hole I've ever seen for a huge gain for the Pride.
Now Williams is going to hand it off to Logan Newton.
Logan Newton off the right side.
Looks like he's going to gain a large chunk of change, getting the ball to about the 21-yard line.
That's exactly what the Pride needed to do here late in the first half. They need to get some of these points back, and that's exactly the way to do it. A nice little trickery play to gain a lot of yards. Let's see if they can't get the ball in the end zone and get some more points on the board and dig into this deficit here.
Now Gabe Miranda staying on the field while Josh Catt goes off. We'll see if that plays out any significance. Kyle Betts lined up on the bottom of your screen. And that's where the ball's going. Slant route to Betts. He holds his hands on it despite a large hit.
Nice grab.
And there's a flag in the backfield as well, but a great grab with the clock now stopping at 6 minutes and 1 second for the penalty.
On the coverage.
And we wait to hear from the referee.
Yeah, that was Tyrone Gilbert and Junior Jenkins on the coverage for the defense, both placing nice hits on Betts, but nonetheless, Betts was able to keep that ball in his hands. Great play by Betts to keep that ball. So
is a Pride first down.
Yeah.
So the penalty is declined here, and the clock is going to resume with 6 minutes. And it was a first down for Bradshaw Christian. Again, in striking distance, down 14 points. They are going to need this before half. And around 2, Dragmeyer. And he's going to stay on his feet.
Dragmeyer on the carry.
And get the ball to about the 11 or 12.
55, Junior Jenkins on the tackle.
Again, Junior Jenkins on the tackle. He seems to be doing a lot of spy work on this offense. And it seems like his job is exclusively to make sure who has the ball, and he makes sure to hit him. He hovers and waits to see what's going on before he makes a move. Very good patience from the linebacker as a run sweeps to the outside for Logan Newton.
Gabe Miranda off the left side.
Or my apologies, Gabe Miranda, number 12 on that move to the left. 3rd and short.
That was a good run by Gabe Miranda. He wasn't able to pick up the first down, but he ran right into a big crowd of people and kept his feet moving. He was driving that crowd backwards towards the end zone, so good play by Miranda. Like I said, wasn't able to pick up the first down, but still a lot of heart in that run and was able to pick up solid yards.
Clock's ticking down, 4:45. Williams calls motion to Dragmeyer, and it looks like they got the Scots to jump off sides. And we're going to wait to hear from a referee, but I think this is another encroachment, being the 3rd of the night for the Scots.
If it is indeed, and they are moving him towards the end zone, so I believe that will be a first down. So that'll turn him 1st and goal.
First and goal and down by 14. Again, a very important drive here. It's still early in the game, and as all of you sports fans know out there, anything can happen in the second half of football. But it seems like a very important drive here, if not just for the obvious points. But it looks like actually there's going to be a measurement. So 4:43 on the clock. But this is important, I was just saying, for not necessarily just the points, because you obviously need those, but for morale, because you know this group had a couple of turnovers, 1 a fumble and 2 a turnover on downs. And it seems like they're going to really want to have some momentum on their side going into halftime.
Yeah, not only that, but they're going to really want the momentum on defense to try to stop number 1, John Abelos, anytime he touches the ball, because so far he's just been absolutely nasty anytime he's touched the ball. This will be big for the Pride to gain some of that pride right back for them, and definitely see if they can't do a stop on defense as well. So a touchdown or maybe a stop on defense, and I'm going into halftime sitting pretty, knowing I'm getting the ball back for the second half. So let's see if they can't pull that out. That would probably be best case scenario here for the Pride.
4 down linemen ready for the Scots. Williams under center. Calls motion to Dragmeyer, and he's going to keep it himself, pushing the entire pack into the end zone. And that is a touchdown for the Pride.
What a play that was. They pushed the entire team into the end zone.
The entire team moved.
The whole team, yeah. I was just going to say, I wonder if he got in, and next thing you know, they're all standing in the end zone. So I know if every single purple jersey's in the end zone, one of them has a football. So touchdown, Pride nonetheless.
Speaking of the end zone, purple in the end zone, both end zones completely painted solid purple. I like it. It's good old-fashioned football. Now here is Jennifer Lawson kicking up the extra point. And it is good. This time they will give it to her, as last time they took it back going for 2, 13-20 with 4:32 on the clock. Again, it is homecoming here for Bradshaw Christian. Plenty of people in the stands, and when the stands got full, plenty of lawn chairs lined up on either side of the field.
PlayOnSports.com is not only a destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here. Also, don't forget to stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com postgame show. We will select our player of the game as well as wrap up all the action from this ball game. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school football sports. PlayOnSports.com.
Armando Velarde will kick off for the Pride.
So 2 back to return for Highlands High. And they're currently standing on the 20-yard line, not really giving this kicker too much space, as last time was an onside kick. Velarde is going to kick off, and he's going to kick deep this time, going way over their heads. And it's going to be picked up around the 5-yard line by Sean Walker. He's going to go around to the far side of the field, get stopped around the 17.
Yeah, that placement there on that kickoff was probably what came back to bite him on that play. The kicker was able to kick the ball past all the returners, and they weren't able to get a good return. It looks like looks about the 15-yard line, it looks like. Maybe even the 19, sorry. It's kind of hard to see from this angle.
As it looks like, actually, it is spotted around the 16 or 17. Shotgun for Avalos, and he's going to throw deep downfield, does not stay in play. However, he had his target, 2nd and 10 with 4:19 on the clock.
That's a big target out there, too. That kick towers over the defensive back. I can't see what his number is from here, but he looks like he's at least 4 to 5 inches taller than the defensive back that's covering him. So maybe that's a matchup that we want to pay attention to.
As that looks like it is Dominic Fuse, number 2, again listed at 6'1", but I almost don't believe it unless he's wearing some tall spikes. Dumps off the pass to number 21 for the team, Altamirano. And he's going to get the ball past the 30, first down
Yeah,
for the Scots.
What a play by John Abelos. He kept that play alive with his feet. He was able to scroll out to the right, scramble out to the right, and made a play on the run. Was able to get a nice throw off to Alta Moreno, and they picked up good yardage for the first down.
So Abalos now with 3 wide receivers lined up vertically to the far side of the field, but again, it's going to be a run up the middle, stuffed by the entire Bradshaw defense.
22.
Yeah, that was good defense there, led by
Aaron
number
Gilbert
66, Zach
On the
Rangel.
carry.
So
Fed
good
immediately
play
by
by the
number 66,
defense of
Zach
Bradshaw
Rangel.
Christian.
Yeah, Dominic Fuse,
Offensive yard
Sean
on the play
Walker,
brings up second down
and
and
Jonathan
11.
Altamirano are lined up as receivers on the far side of the field, and all 3 of them, they line up deep and not up on the line of scrimmage. It seems like the trick when they want to run, and somehow, some way, it looks like Abalos is going to stay on his feet, makes the last move at the end, and that is his 4th touchdown of the game.
Wow. There's a
Flag
flag.
will be coming back.
It is going to be coming back, but still, nonetheless,
That's
wow.
You know, if it weren't for that penalty, that is definitely something for the highlight reel.
Oh, yeah, I see a coach over here kicking things on the ground for Bradshaw Christian. He's pretty upset. He's pretty much trying to figure out why that happened, why they cannot put a purple jersey on John Avalos. Anytime he touches the ball, it is bad news for the Pride. That kid is just all around ridiculously good right now.
10 yards from the spot of the foul for repeat second down.
So it's going to be second and long,
Be second down and 4.
or about 4 actually, because it is from the spot of the foul. But a good break there for Bradshaw Christian. However, they need to look for the same type of play. 3 widers to the left, 1 back, and 1 here to the right on the bottom of the screen. Avalos is going to drop back. He finds his option. Wide open receiver is Greg Eason. Greg Eason, the big body, moving his way to the 35-yard line.
Number 6.
And like I said, John Avalos could do it all. He could run, he could pass. Oh, man, that kid is just some sort of weapon there for the Scots. I'm surprised I haven't heard his name yet until this late into the season, but, man, John Avalos doing it all.
Shotgun formation for Avalos, same formation. As he throws to the far side where he has a lot of receivers, including Altamirano, who gets the catch. And he's going to break past the 20-yard line. Another first down for the Scots.
Just constantly moving those chains. Avalos with a good throw across his body while on the run. Not an easy throw to make, yet still right on the numbers for number 21, Alta Moreno. And they were able to pick up another first down. It looks like the chain gang's even getting tired trying to keep up with this offense of the Scots.
Shotgun formation. This time 3 receivers to the right. And he's going to keep it himself again, finding the hole, staying on his feet, finally brought down or at the 10-yard line. Tackled by
Number 31.
number 65, Armando Velarde, also the team's place kicker. And that's going to make it second and short.
Yeah, it looks like Avalos wants his 10th rushing touchdown of the season.
Second down.
Pretty much anytime they get near the end zone, he's the guy to watch out for. Anytime they get there, he's taking the ball, he's trying to get in the end zone. It's kind of hard to handle him right now.
Forward wide receiver spread set, extra blocker this time. He's going to get around the outside, dodges the entire defensive line, gets in the corner. And he does step out of bounds. Nope, that is a touchdown indeed. So he was able to get inside the pylon. And that, ladies and gentlemen, with 2:01 on the clock, is his 4th touchdown of the game.
Wow. 4 rushing touchdowns on the game.
On the half.
In the half.
26-13 is the score.
So
we see the extra point unit come out here.
I have here, so he started at 7, so that'll make it his 11th rushing touchdown on the year.
Indeed.
Wow.
So he is
started at 7, and 1 half of football later, he's at 11 rushing touchdowns.
He is having clearly a good season, but just in this game, he is playing out of his mind.
Yeah. One more, and he's already got about half of what he got for the rest of the year.
Normally we interview people who pull off a hat trick. I don't think I've ever interviewed somebody who ran 4 touchdowns.
Extra point is no good.
And the extra point is no good. As the referees always have the best angle on it. But it looked good from here. 13-26 is the score as we get down to 2 minutes left in the first half. Bradshaw Christian digging themselves into a deep hole here. However, they have been playing good football on offense. It just seems like they're having trouble keeping up with this powerful offense of the Scots.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP. So 2 minutes, 1 second to go in the first half of football, and it's all John Abelos. He has scored every single touchdown for the Scots, and he does not seem like he wants to stop tonight. He is at 4 and counting so far. If this kid puts up 8 touchdowns, I don't know. We're definitely gonna have to talk to him.
Baby steps.
That's ridiculous.
We'll get by. We'll go step by step here. However,
it's just crazy to even say that he is on pace to score 8 touchdowns.
Drew Rickert, the head coach for Bradshaw Christian, is definitely going to have a lot to talk about at halftime. The kick is up and it goes deep, and it is a touchback.
What an odd little kick there. I don't know if you've seen that, but it looked like they had a guy running up like he was going to be the kicker. He stutter-stepped. The next thing you know, the guy next to him ended up kicking it. So a little bit of trickery. I don't know exactly what they were trying to do on that, but nonetheless, it happened, and I paid attention to it.
I think the trick to that is one kicker has the option of kicking an onside. So the angle that he's coming from is a shallow kick so that Bradshaw Christian doesn't have the ability to strategize as well. Split back formation. And it's going to be a fake and then a run to the right side for Dragmeyer.
Yeah, that was the exact play that they ran with a big hole in the middle. They tried to do it again, and I picked up pretty solid yardage nonetheless. I mean, it wasn't the 60 to 70-yard gallop that he did earlier, but still pretty solid yardage. But with 1 minute 40 seconds to go in this half, I don't know if I'm exactly calling run plays here with only 1 timeout.
Dragmeyer and Newton lined up with Williams, but he's going to drop back to throw. He's got his target. Beautiful throw is dropped in on Dragmeyer, and he's going to be down at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, Dragmeyer was able to get behind number 3 Smart for the Scots. Good throw by Williams, nice touch throw, able to move the chains, so that helps them. It stops the clock for a split second. They're able to call a play, get back to the line. 1 minute 20 seconds to go in this first half. Let's see if the Pride can't go down and get that touchdown back.
And it's going to be a fake run, but it looks like there was a miscommunication on the play because Luis Romero was open, but he stopped running as if he was ready to block. Crucial miscommunication with 1 minute 13, down by 13.
Yeah, I agree. He had Romero open. If you make Romero fade there a little bit towards the sideline, and he does another nice touch pass, I wouldn't be surprised if that led to 6 with the speed of Romero. So. Nonetheless, maybe a little bit of communication between the quarterback and wide receiver is needed. Let's see if they can't shape that up and get some points.
Now, Williams is going to keep it himself, and he's going to stay on his feet doing his best impersonation of the opposing quarterback. He's going to get to the 41-yard line just short of the first down.
Yeah, it's under 1 minute to go in the first half, so they're constantly trying to run up and get on the ball.
8 yards on the play.
We got a third down
and 2.
Like a 3rd and 2, it looks like.
Yeah, 3rd and 2 indeed. 49 seconds on the clock. Tight formation. Dragmeyer goes into motion. He does take the pitch, and he gets the first down.
Dragmeyer
so the clock's going to stop at 43.9 for just a moment.
Result of the play is the Pride, first down.
So here comes a quick huddle. Teams on the same page. Williams under center, and he's going to spike the ball. Almost catching his opponent's offsides, but that's going to stop the clock at 38.3.
Killed the ball.
Do the Pride still have a timeout? Because I'm pretty sure they used only 2.
I had only excuse me.
Yeah, I've only counted 2 as well. So hopefully, I'm a little surprised as the spike there. Maybe they're trying to go for a pass down the middle and then call the timeout there. Maybe try to get a field goal. But nonetheless, they spiked the ball there. I'm pretty sure they have 1 timeout left.
Yeah,
so.
the scoreboard to our left does not have timeouts reported, so we're doing our best to keep track of it as Williams drops back, and he gets pummeled by the entire defense, and it's a fumble.
Ball comes loose, fumble.
Beautiful defense coming from the Scots, and that's a crucial turnover. 26-13, 32.6 on the clock.
Yeah, that was a blindside sack there by the Scots. They were able to get a fumble. He came on the quarterback's blind side. Williams couldn't even see him coming. Tried to make a throw. Next thing you know, you're going down to the ground, and you got the referees pointing the other direction. So good play by the Scots to get the ball back and not let any points go up on the board. I'm a little curious to see what they do here.
Avalos dropping back to pass. 4 wide receivers set, and he throws down the middle, hits Alta Moreno, who's going to catch the ball around the 32-yard line.
So showing no mercy here are the Scots, trying to get a little bit more points here before halftime. They would really like to see a 32 on the board instead of a 26. So
4 wide receivers again, 5th one now coming out of the backfield. Avalos is going to run, tucks the ball, gets past the 30, gets to the 20, and he's going to slide down at the 16-yard line, getting the first down. Clock stopping at 0.6. They are going to try to get it in the end zone here.
First and 10 for the Scots.
Man, I definitely don't want to be the defense for the Pride at halftime. They are going to get a yelling at by that coach.
Dropping back to pass, dumps off underneath to Greg Eason. And Greg Eason is going to make his way to the 3-4 yard line. 2.5 seconds on the clock. It stopped. And they are going to have time for one more play. The clock is rolling. And they do not get the snap off in time. So that's going to do it for the half, ladies and gentlemen. 26-13, as we do have an injured player for Bradshaw Christian. Josh Catt looking like he's having trouble with one of his legs. We'll give you an update after halftime. We'll be back in just a moment. 26-13, PlayOnSports.com, broadcasting you live from Sacramento, California. We'll be back just after this break.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have 12 minutes on the clock for the third quarter. We do apologize for not having a halftime show, as there was a fire in the building, but that is well taken care of. It was up on the roof, from what we hear, a speaker fire. However, we've confirmation that everybody's okay, and it seems like our cameraman Tim King is also doing well up on the roof, so we're glad there are no problems there. Bradshaw Christian's going to be kicking off from the 40-yard line on their homecoming night. And they're going to be kicking off to your right across the computer screen. Welcome back to PlayOnSports.com's broadcast of Bradshaw Christian versus the Highland High Scots. Now, for those of you who missed the first half, it was a tale of two stories. One being Bradshaw Christian's consistent offense that earned him 13 points. And on the other side of the ball was John Avalos, who is doing everything himself, responsible for all 26 points except for a few of those extra points there after 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, John Avalos has proven to be one serious dynamite piece of weaponry out here for the Scots.
As a kick is going to go deep toward the 5-yard line. Returner is going to stay on his feet, finally tripped up around the 16. And we're going to see Avalos again. Starting from, my apologies, not the 16, but the 26. So he's going to be starting right there, and it's going to be first down for the Scots.
Yeah, I'm a little curious to see if the Pride went into the locker room and figured out a way to stop number 1, John Avalos, anytime he touches the ball. Because so far, he has been the one-man wrecking crew for the Scots.
And he's going to roll out 3 wide receivers to his left, but he's going to throw right down the center of the field, has his target, and that is going to be an easy touchdown for Dominic Fuse.
Wow. I'm almost positive that was the first play that they did at the start of the game as well, as we're going to get a late unsportsmanlike excessive celebration penalty, which I'm probably not going to agree with, seeing as all he did was give his man a high five, and they kind of jumped in the air when they did it. But nonetheless, we're going to see that unsportsmanlike. It is high school, so they're trying to eliminate any taunting or any kind of stuff like that. That's exactly what they're going to call as a taunting penalty against the
And it
the
was
Scots.
taunting, and that's the thing. From up here in the booth, we are not capable of knowing what was said. So it could have been a simple phrase to an opponent or even a referee that could send that back. And I think the penalty is going to be added on the kickoff. And the penalty is accepted, and it will be on the kickoff. So with 11:42 on the clock, one play gets them into the end zone as they shoot for the extra point. The snap set, the kick is up, and it is wonderfully good, going very deep past the goalpost. Strong kick, and the score now is 13 for Bradshaw Christian and 33 for the Scots. Now, here is coming the kickoff unit for both teams. For those of you just joining us, Greg Cotta alongside Jason Patterson, Will McCombs doing the production, and Tim King up on the camera. Glad to be here out in Sacramento, California, off of Bradshaw Road, which is where you will find Bradshaw Christian High School.
What a way to start the second half. Huh,
Unbelievable
Greg? They come out
pass.
Here, fireworks, he was wide open out there too. Just pretty much exactly what I was saying. You try to watch one person too much and you're going to have somebody running wide open down the field. Maybe they were expecting John Avalos to pull that ball down and run, and next thing you know, there's a wide receiver who's past all the secondary and he's running out there with his hands open begging for the ball. A good throw by Avalos and 7 points. And now the score 33-13. Man.
The kickoff's going to be from the 25-yard line after that penalty, and that's going to be some good opportunity for the 2 returnmen for Bradshaw Christian.
That's Betts and Romero back there.
Being Betts and Romero. So again, some trickery here on the kickoff as they send 2 kickers forward, but only one kicking, obviously, and that kick is going to bounce out of bounds. So here comes the flag from the referee And Bradshaw Christian's going to have some good field position.
Yeah, they're going to have real good field position.
So smart of them possibly to even not allow the opportunity for a return, as with the speed, particularly coming from number 8, Kyle Betts, they have a lot of opportunity there, but the ball is going to be spotted actually at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, that's great field position to start. Got half a field to work with. Let's see if they can't go get these 50 yards. They're definitely going to need to put up points here with that bomb to start the game, or to start the second half from the Scots.
Josh Catt at the bottom of your screen, no longer injured. Now it's going to be a run up the middle for Logan Newton, and he's only going to walk away with about a gain of 2.
That was a good defense there by the Scots. They were able to fill the holes nicely, take the ball carrier down, only gave up 2 yards. So 2nd and 8 here. Pretty dominant play so far by the Scots, only giving up 2 touchdowns in the whole first half, while Abelos has put up 5. So
4 ran and 1 thrown for Abelos, clearly putting his name in the hat for player of the game, as it's going to be a draw for Dragmeyer, and he's going to gain a good 7 yards there or so as he stretched for that extra one at the end of the play, and it's going to be 3rd and 2.
This is a big 3rd down for the Pride. They want to pick
Indeed.
this up. They definitely don't want to give up that touchdown and then come down on a 3 and out. So let's see if they can't pick up this 1st down and try to keep a little bit of momentum on their side.
Pitch back to number 8 for Bradshaw Christian. He's going to stay on his feet. Keeps moving for the 1st down and then some. Kyle Betts showing some superior speed on this offense. He has been very essential, particularly in moving the chains on 3rd down.
Yeah, definitely with Jacoby Hawkins out number 24. Kyle Betts has seen a lot of work, a couple run plays, a couple passes his way. He's definitely seemed to be the workhorse now with Jacoby Hawkins out for this game.
Clock's moving at 10:30 on the 10:30 left in the 3rd quarter. Again, 33-13. Bradshaw Christian trying to please this homecoming crowd here in the 2nd half. Kevin Williams under center, same type formation. And he's going to fake a pitch back to Dragmeyer, but he's going to go down the field. He has Romero. Romero has the touchdown, and that was a beautiful throw coming from Kevin Williams.
Yeah, what a good throw. Romero was able to get past number 22 for the defense, Tyrone Gilbert. A good route ran by Romero, good throw by Williams. That's how you put up 6 points right there in football. Good route, good pass, nice catch, 7 points. Nice play.
19-33 is now the score with 10:06 on the clock. As we see Jennifer Lawson coming out for the extra point kick. The snap is down, the kick is up, and it is good. So 20-33 is a much more reasonable score to work with, wouldn't you say, Jason?
Yeah, I agree. Down 13 is a whole lot better than down 20. So definitely a much-needed touchdown, a good play, exactly what they needed, working with just a short field since they had that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty from the Scots. So they took advantage of their short field, got 6 points, right back in this game with 10 minutes, 6 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. So kind of interested to see how the Pride keeps it moving. They're going to have to stop John Abelos and that explosive offense for the Scots. So let's see if they can't manage that and continuously try to keep more points on the board. Because one thing we have noticed is when the Pride's offense is on the field, they're constantly moving the ball. So if I'm the Pride, I want to keep my offense on the field at all times.
Yeah, it's definitely a system that works. It's just a matter of how quickly they can do it. Now remember, they did try an onside kick prior. And indeed, they're going to try it again. But a bad placement on the kick, but a good recovery from Jacob Yetu. And after Bradshaw's good field position, the Highlands are going to have a good field position as well.
Yeah, the first attempt for the onside kick was a whole lot better. He was able to get a couple bounces on there. That one kind of died. Definitely, if you're trying for the onside kick, you want it to be bouncing around, and hopefully it bounces off a player and becomes live.
And a big flag coming from the secondary. I think a hard snap confused somebody on the line. I'm not sure which direction it's going to be going in, though.
It looks like there was too many players on the field for Bradshaw Christian, but the coach is complaining that he tried to call a timeout before they called the hike. So we're going to see if they're going to honor that timeout or give him the penalty, as he was calling for a timeout before the ball was hiked.
Indeed, I did witness that as well at the bottom of the screen for those of you watching at home. And it is moving back. The referees have concluded that the timeout was not called in time. And boy, some of these coaches are heated about it.
Yeah, I don't blame him. He was trying to call a timeout. He seen that his personnel was off. He tried to get his timeout. He wasn't granted the timeout, and he's pretty upset about it. And he's going to get an unsportsmanlike. That's going to be another 15 yards.
Looks like it. I mean, this is coming in from the secondary here. And indeed, the head coach is going to get told to sit down, and now he's going to really use this timeout. Try to keep things under wraps. 10:05 on the clock in the third quarter. And Bradshaw Christian now running into a little bit of trouble here at this point in the game.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed is I definitely wouldn't mess with that referee when it comes to taunting or unsportsmanlike. He was the same ref that threw it on the Scots players for jumping and giving each other a high five. So obviously he's out here not taking any crap from anybody. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's definitely a referee who is in control of the game.
It's always good to see refs out there keeping their foot down and keeping the play with the rules. As we have a long conversation here from the coach with the head referee.
And he called a timeout, and all he's really done since calling the timeout is talk with the referee. So it seems like maybe that's even why he called it. It's like, hang on, let's talk about this. Because you don't want to be on, if a guy's wearing a white hat out there, you really do not want to be on his bad side.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to call this timeout a temper timeout, because he was definitely heated, and he needed to call a timeout and discuss with the referee what his problems were. So nonetheless, back to football. Let's see if the Pride can't stop this explosive Scott offense on a first down.
So it's first down, as you just mentioned, 10:05 still on the clock as the referees take a few notes. And play is going to resume from this point on. Wide spread from the offensive formation. Quarterback's going to drop back, and he lobs deep. Intercepted on the other side of the field. No, he is out of bounds. So that was great coverage coming from the secondary.
Yeah, Luis Romero on the coverage there, number 31 for the Pride. He was able to get out there, use his speed that we've seen throughout the entire game. He almost came away with a nice interception, just wasn't able to get his feet down in bounds. Nonetheless, great play on defense by Luis Romero.
So it was 2nd and 10, 9:56 on the stopped clock. 3 down linemen for Bradshaw Christian. And it looks like it's going to be a quarterback keeper again.
Yeah, that was the exact play that we've seen a couple times for the touchdown by Abelos, where he sticks that ball completely into his running back's belly and pulls it out. You kind of don't know who has it with the way they're both doing it. The defense chose Abelos, and they chose correctly, bringing him down for a minimal gain. It's a big third down here for the Pride. If I'm the Pride's defense, I want to get this third down stop and get my offense back on the field.
Definitely going to be the goal as Eason is lined up in the backfield. He goes out for a short route, but he's going to throw deep down the field. Completely misses his target, Dominic Fuse, and that's going to be 4th and long.
That was a good coverage by Kyle Betts on the play, number 8, and also Dragmeyer, number 7 for the Pride. So good defense. They were able to get out there, double coverage Fuse. Abelos put a good ball up, a little bit overthrown, but nonetheless a good third down stop. But I'm not seeing a punting unit here from the Scots. I'm seeing Abelos out there in the middle of that huddle. So up 33-20. It looks like the Scots are still going to go for it here on 4th down.
It's definitely that area of the field, and we see this a lot in high school football where, you know, it's hard to find a kicker in the NFL who can hit kicks from over 40 yards or so. I mean, it's a difficult job, and then to even find them on a high school level is far more difficult. So they'd like to sit in this situation here. And, you know, it's also, you know, either a really long kick or a coffin corner punt.
Right.
So go for it territory here on 4th down. Still seems like a very confident play up by 13, 10 yards to go, 5 wide receiver set. Avalos is going to drop back. He finds his target, throws over the middle, and it's caught by number 7, Sean Walker, his first reception on the game, and that's a first down. Strong fourth down conversion there.
Yeah, he was wide open across the middle. I don't understand where the Pride were covering there, but they happened to let one guy run wide open, and Avalos found him right across the middle to pick up that first down. That's a big first down pickup by the Scots.
And Avalos is now going to keep the ball himself, run up the middle, and that is another touchdown for him on this game. He is putting on a clinic.
Yeah, that play is so dangerous. You don't really know what to do. You try to jump on the running back thinking he's going to have the ball, and next thing you know, the guy with the football is number 1, John Avalos, and he's already halfway down the field to the touchdown. It's really hard to stop. It's almost hard to even watch. You don't really know who has the ball up here. You just kind of have to watch in awe and see who goes into the end zone. But again, John Avalos with another touchdown.
And a muffed snap is actually going to bring the Scots backwards. It seemed like he couldn't get the ball down in time, decided to run it himself, and the score is going to stay 39-20 here with 8:54 on the clock. In the third quarter, Bradshaw Christian still fighting, though, but again, they are not having an answer for that number 1 guy on the opposing side.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here.
Now, Avalos is completely dominating right now as he has ran 5 touchdowns and thrown a 6th. I mean, these are the kind of video game numbers that you get when you put it on easy.
Well, not even on video game numbers. Coming into this game, he had a total of 7 rushing touchdowns, and he has 5 alone today. That is just amazing. What play by Avalos.
And I think that one of his big advantages here, Jason, is that he has a very large offensive line disguising for him where that ball is going to go. The clock is now rolling as it did go back to number 31 for the team, Luis Romero, but he's going to get stopped past the 20-yard line. And 8:44 on the clock, down by 19 points. Here comes Williams and the rest of his offense.
Yeah, I'm looking here at the stats for John Avalos' season, and he's only thrown for 2 touchdown passes and then the 1 more today. So he's on 3 touchdown passes on the year, but yet he's at 12 rushing touchdowns on the year. Man, what an explosive guy coming out of your backfield in the quarterback position.
3-1 in the season again for the Scots, trying to make it 4-1 here, and they're putting up a good effort here. Williams is going to throw a screen pass to the outside to one of his favorite targets, Logan Newton, but he gets creamed in the backfield. Loss of several yards, nearly 6.
That was number 3, Arshawn Smart, who was able to get in the backfield and interrupt that screen pass and take him down for a loss.
I believe it's actually going to be a loss of 7, if my eyes don't deceive me. So with 2nd and 17. With a run-first offense, this is quite a difficult situation. Let's see what Kevin Williams can pull out of his bag of tricks. Williams licking the fingers, getting under center. Calls motion to the left. And the run ends up going nowhere. 3rd down and very, very long.
Yeah, that was good penetration by the Scots defense. They were able to get in there and fill a couple holes and take them down. Exactly what they want to do here is try to get keep the Pride in 3rd down situations. We do have an injury on the field, though, for the Scots. Hopefully he's okay with the players taking a knee.
Yeah, all players on the field taking a knee at this moment. As silence comes around the crowd, everybody trying to make sure that this student is okay. The training staff all getting together looking at it. And he is up with help. And if we ever get any more information on that, we will let you know. But at this moment, it looks like he's going to be okay.
Yeah, it's always good to definitely get him up early. If he's not laying down on the field, it's not super threatening. So it looks like it's just going to be a leg injury over there for him as he sits down on the sidelines.
3rd and long under center. Here comes the throw, out route. Still on his feet, stumbling, finally trips over himself, but he's going to get a first down on that play. That was number 12 on the reception, Gabe Miranda, coming up huge on 3rd and almost 20. It's going to be first down for Bradshaw Christian.
Yeah, that was definitely a good pass by Williams. He found his receiver on a little flat. Miranda was able to make a couple good moves, make a couple people miss, pick up the first down. If he doesn't trip over his own feet, I'm expecting 6 points there. He definitely had a big enough hole. Nonetheless, picked up the first down. Good play by the Pride.
3 wide receivers going downfield, and he's going to go to Miranda. Again, intercepted by the much taller defensive back. Dominic Fuse is breaking down the sidelines. Great blocking, still on his feet, still going. He is able to level everybody on the field. Big body running. There is a flag, however, but at this point, that may be the most exciting touchdown of the game.
Yeah, even if they take back this run back, let's not take it away from him. Fuse was able to tip the ball to himself and pick up the interception, so great play by Fuse out there. And then took it all the way back, even lowered his head. It is going to come back, it looked like.
It is going to come back. Now, he went head-to-head with Grant Dragmeyer, and boy, did Grant Dragmeyer end up looking at the sky just after it.
So we have a holding on the Scots, but it is going to be the Scots ball. So the ball, Scots are going to take over at about the 50-yard line. So the no touchdown for Dominic Fuse, but nonetheless he gets the interception on a nice tipped ball to himself, was able to get it. That's where the height came into play. He was just taller than the receiver, was able to tip it and come back and find it and pick up that interception. Good play by number 2, Dominic Fuse for the Scots.
Shotgun formation, split backs now. And it's going to be a pitch back after the option. Running back still on his feet. And Tyrone Gilbert is going to get a gain of 3 yards.
Yeah, that was an interesting run play there. A fake run turned into a
fake sneak.
Yeah, I don't know what. Fake run into a quarterback option and pitched it out. 3 different people touching the ball. Definitely hard to defend when you got so many different weapons out there.
Heck, I wouldn't want to have to block for that. Now, here comes the large running back coming up the middle. And that it looks like number 8 on the team, if I'm not mistaken. But I actually believe, no, it was number 6, Greg Eason.
Yeah, those 8 and 6s look awfully alike.
So, 5 wide receivers set, empty backfield. Here comes Avalos. He's going to throw over the middle through his receiver's hands. Sean Walker had his hands on it, but he couldn't bring it down. 3rd down.
Yeah, there was just a lot of gas on that pass. Avalos put a lot of effort into that one, and he just happened to bullet it right by his receiver. And we are going to get a timeout from the Highlands Scots. So 6 minutes, 7 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. We got the Highlands Scots leading the Bradshaw Christian Pride 39-20.
Really an unreal game here. Now, Bradshaw Christian, when Jason, when you and I got the chance to watch them a few weeks ago down off of Highway 12 in Rio Vista, they played really well. Like they honestly, I mean, they had an equally matched opponent, and they ended up winning it in the end. But it seems like right now they're going up a much tougher opponent.
Yeah, I agree. They definitely were able to stick into that game that we did out there in Rio Vista. They haven't really been horrible this game. They played pretty solid game, but it is just hard to defend that John Avalos out there. He's so just dynamite in anything he does. The passing, the running, like I said, to be your team's leading rusher in the quarterback position is just hard to defend. 5 touchdowns on the day from the ground from John Avalos.
And not even to mention his 6th through the air. So deep safeties for Bradshaw Christian, as Avalos has really been throwing downfield, and he's going to roll out here. Throws opposite side. That's going to be considered a fumble. But his receiver is able to stay on top of it and turn it into a positive play, but I don't think enough for the first down. I think that's going to be a turnover.
Still, nonetheless, what a play by Eason.
I still think, yeah, despite that, that is definitely one of the most athletic plays that we've seen on the field today here with 5:53 on the game clock. As that went from bad to horrible to almost perfect.
Yeah, I agree. A heads-up play there by Easton to realize that that is a live ball and pick it up and continue to run. Overall, turned what could have been horrible into not too bad.
So feeling like a short punt now. Ball's at the 40-yard line. Bradshaw Christian. Williams is going to drop back to pass, and he does not have a receiver waiting for him. Again, miscommunication. And that was from the pocket.
That's the second time that we've seen miscommunication between Williams and Romero. So maybe something they need to work on throughout this week is their communication, as Romero was looking for a curl and Williams thought he was running the streak.
Definitely two opposite routes as Josh Catlin comes back onto the field. Now he's going to be lined up on the top of your screen. Look out for him as he's new to the package. This is going to be a run up the middle, though. Logan Newton going to take the ball, and finally he gets pushed around by the bigger defense, still with forward progress. He's going to gain about 3 or 4 and make it 3rd and long.
That was 55 Junior Jenkins in there on the tackle, a name that we've said a couple times throughout this night. He's their middle linebacker who's out there playing like Ray Lewis, just all over the ball. Junior listed at 6 foot 225, and he is definitely being the leader of that defense in that middle linebacker position.
Tight formation again, and it's going to be a pitch back to Dragmeyer, who's going to spin his way past the line of scrimmage, but it's still going to be 4th and about 4 or 5.
Yeah, Bradshaw Christian, definitely a heavy run team. I'm a little sad that we didn't get to see Jacoby Hawkins out here, their leading rusher. Definitely could have been a whole different game if you see 24 in his uniform. Definitely could have been a little bit easier for Bradshaw Christian to do a couple of these runs.
4:45 on the clock in the 3rd quarter. Going for it on 4th down. Double handoff. Works its way to the 50, but it looks like it's going to be just a yard short of the 1st down. Big effort by Kyle Betts, but falling short again is Bradshaw Christian.
So another turnover on down, so neither team wanting to use the punting team and just trying to keep their offense on the field and see if they can't do it.
And neither team really wanting to budge at this point. Score being 39-20, but it's still the 3rd quarter, so the Scots are very aware as Bradshaw Christian takes their 2nd timeout of the half. They seem really upset about the spot of the ball. And again, the head coach is calling a timeout in order to discuss things with the referee. He'll have 1 timeout left at this point in the game.
So 1 timeout to use for strategy with a whole quarter and 4.5 minutes to go. I mean, despite being upset with the referee, I don't know if I waste 2 timeouts to discuss anything with a referee. Especially down.
Definitely, as the referee is really already shown he does not tolerate much disruption to his job. And this game clearly important to Bradshaw Christian. It is homecoming week, and they are a solid athletic program across the board, especially considering they're such a small school. But here comes the offense regardless for Highlands High. And Highlands High, again, not trying to budge because they have a 19-point lead. However, with 4:38 in the 3rd, an entire 4th quarter, and Bradshaw Christian showing that sometimes they can score on a dime, they really want to put this one away early.
Yeah, I agree. You always want to have more points in football.
The pitch back is going to turn into a flea flicker. That's actually going to be a run for the quarterback, breaking past midfield, leaping over the secondary. He's going to get the ball past the 30-yard line, but we do have Laundry on the field. Going to have to wait from the head referee, as we also look like we have a collision, possibly an injury for either team.
So that's going to be a holding on the Scots. So that will negate the long run by John Avalos. But we do have a Christian Pride guy down with his coach coming to take a look and the player's taking a knee. So hopefully he's okay.
He does not look like he is moving too much from this angle. But knees are being taken again by both sides. It seems like it's getting a lot more physical, wouldn't you say, Jason, in the 2nd half?
Yeah, I agree. A lot of heart on both sides of the ball, and it's starting to show as a couple people going down on injuries. It looked like a big collision over there with John Avalos running over, so hopefully he's okay. They are checking on him. So we do have a score of 20-39. The North Highlands Scots leading the Bradshaw Christian Pride with 4.5 minutes to go in the third quarter here at Bradshaw Christian High School in Sacramento, California.
For those of you just tuning in, the story has been John Avalos. Now, it looks like this injured player has gotten up and he's moving down the field. That is number 1, Josh Catt. Josh Catt did have trouble with his leg at the end of the first half. Perhaps it's the same injury persisting. But after that holding penalty, it's going to be 1st and 20. But again, as I was saying, John Avalos has kind of been everything on the offense for Highlands High, as he has 5 touchdowns on the ground, 1 through the air. Shotgun, 3 wide receiver set. Play action is going to go over, turn into a pass to Sean Walker. Sean Walker is breaking down the field, breaks 2 tackles, getting to the sidelines, pushed out of bounds finally by number 8, Kyle Betts. And that's going to get them inside the 20.
Yeah, that was a good play by the Scots. Just a little wide receiver screen out here, and it was all after the wide receiver after that. Yards after catch. He was able to get down the field, pick up a nice chunk of yards for a first down and move those chains.
Clock continues now after the chains have moved. 4:12 on the clock. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left, but it's going to be a run up the middle. He's going to keep it himself after the play action to Arshawn Smart. And the ball now is going to be at the 15.
So it looks like he picked up like 6 yards there, maybe even 7. Good pickup on first down. One thing I have noticed, though, that the Bradshaw Christian Pride, they have noticed that he likes to run that play a lot. They are keeping a couple guys in that box to try to make sure that Avalos can't run that draw right up the middle, or the quarterback keeper, right up the middle. So Bradshaw Christian has started to pay attention a little bit more to what they are running on the opposite side of the ball, and it seems to have been working a little bit better this half.
3 down linemen, extra defensive back. Now it looks like we have a flag in the area of holding, and this might come back again for Highlands High.
So despite the high score for the Highlands High, they do get a lot of penalties, or at least a lot of small penalties, something they do need to work on for future games, as they are taking it back.
And it's going back pretty far because the hold was on the line of scrimmage, so it's going to be 2nd and 13 is my best estimate to it. 3:21 on the game clock, stopped after the penalty. Bradshaw Christian, the home team, in purple and gold, while Highlands High is red and white with a touch of blue. Highlands High moving now to the left side of your laptop keyboard as we get a new package coming in. Several skill position players going to be in the backfield. Full house for Avalos. And he's going to hand it off to Arshawn Smart this time for sure. It's going to be a gain of just a few.
Yeah, that was a good play by the defense for the Pride. They were not fooled by the trickery there. They had one guy out here on the fake option and the rest of the team with the actual ball. So they pretty much kept a guy per every other guy, a man-to-man defense, and it seemed to work on that play.
Again, running a spread offense, 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 player in the backfield, and that's where Avalos is going to run. Throws on the run through his receiver's hands. Again, he had his target, but no luck on the reception there.
That was Alta Moreno on the reception, the attempted receiver.
And so that's going to make it 4th down, but judging by the lessons we've learned from the history of the game, they are going to be going for it. And they're actually going to take a timeout to talk it over. 2:23 on the game clock. Bradshaw Christian 20, Highlands High 39. As we hear the band pick up and the cheerleaders waiting in anticipation, kick it over to Jason Patterson for a live read.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you are enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Now, again, it's really interesting to see some of these smaller schools compete at football because you really have to be a clever coach to work with such a small roster. But honestly, I've definitely been out to high schools where I've seen twice as many kids on the team, but only half as many people in the stands.
Yeah, I agree. They definitely have a good community following out here. Don't let the homecoming game fool you. Even when we went out to Rio Vista, they still had a couple of people out there in the stands for them. So the alumni and family members all here for Bradshaw Christian out here in the mass numbers supporting their team here at homecoming week.
So Abelos is going to stand from his usual shotgun, drops back to pass, but decides to run, tucks it, and then he gets brought down by several Bradshaw Christian tacklers. It took 4 or 5 people to bring him down, but they did it. Turnover on downs now, 2:14 on the clock. So the teams are switching sides, and again, Bradshaw Christian, that one timeout left might hurt them in the long run, but they are playing consistent football, and they're definitely playing like they still have a shot.
Yeah, only 2 minutes, 14 seconds to go in the third quarter and only one timeout left. Definitely not the scenario you want if you are a coach. One timeout left with a whole quarter of football to go.
Here's Williams under center, and he's going to keep it himself, breaking to the outside. Gain of 8, 2nd and 2.
That was a good heads-up play by Williams. He looked downfield. There was nobody there. He wasn't going to take the coverage sack. He wanted to make sure that he got the ball down. He stepped up in the pocket, seen he had a little bit of room in front of him, and was able to pick up a good chunk of yards on first down. A solid play by Williams. Exactly what they need to do is try to keep the defense off guard and do some stuff that they haven't done yet, considering the Scots have been real good on defense throughout this entire game.
Now, Dane Winbrat lined up on the side of your bottom of your screen. However, it's going to be run up the middle for Logan Newton. Definitely a backbone, part of the backbone to this offense is that draw play to the tailback in their tight formation. Now, coming off the field, it looks like it's going to be that number 80, Dan Winbrandt, and Josh Catt coming back on as they replace size for speed in this 3rd and short situation. Scott's showing blitz. However, Bradshaw Christian staying on their feet. It's going to be a close one. As we see marked at the 39 from here, and it's going to be a first down.
That's a good thing. Move the chains.
So the clock is continuing to roll despite the chains being moved at 53 seconds.
It's a good sign that Josh Catt was in on that last play. It's a good thing to know he is not affected by his previous injuries throughout this game.
Indeed. A fake is going to go to Dragmeyer. It's going to be run up the middle for the Pride. Looking like the run went to Josh Mackey, but I could be mistaken. Or no, my apologies. That was number 12, Gabe Miranda. Tight formation again. And the end around is going to go to Kyle Betts. He's going to break his way downfield and get into enemy territory with a couple of yards added. First down for Bradshaw Christian.
Yeah, there's that speed we've been talking about from Betts and Romero. There are 2 return guys, and Betts showing it there on that long run. Good play. They definitely need to keep calling plays that are keeping the Scots defense off guard. That was definitely a good play call there. They were able to get Betts on the end around and picked up a good amount of yards. I'd say about 25 to 30 yards there on that play. So good play by the Pride.
Under center, pitch back to Dragmeyer. Dragmeyer is going to move the entire pile with him. Good gain of 5 or 6 on first down, and that air horn tells you it's the end of the 3rd quarter. 39-20 is the score. Bradshaw Christian has their work cut out for them, but they are still driving down the field. Plenty of football to go here on PlayOnSports.com's broadcast from Sacramento, California.
Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at Play On Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
It's Friday night here underneath generator-powered lights on this beautiful community-created field, as it's something I'm really a fan of. I don't see advertisements. I don't see any shenanigans. It's just everybody is here to either watch football or play football.
Yeah, I agree. They don't even have a big scoreboard with those advertisements on there. They are out here just basically the only thing I see is a home of the pride out here. So they are just representing themselves, showing that pride is what they have. So let's see if they can't go down. And they're only down 19 points with 12 minutes to go. And they have showed that they can score quick enough. So I definitely wouldn't say this game is out of reach quite yet.
Logan Newton, the tailback here behind Williams, adjusts his helmet, drops under center. Now Williams is going to keep it himself, and he's going to throw downfield. Wide open target. Romero is going to waltz into the end zone.
What a play. And that was all from Kyle Williams. He was able to hide that ball. Defense had no idea where the ball was. By the time they figured out Williams had the ball, Romero was wide open with nobody in the 15-yard radius around him. Great play call by the Pride. Exactly what they needed here to start the fourth quarter. Only 7 minutes in the fourth quarter, or 7 seconds, into the fourth quarter, and they have a touchdown. So exactly what they needed, getting a little bit closer. If they can get a 3 and out and get a couple more points up, it's going to make it even that much more interesting.
Extra point is up, coming from Jennifer Lawson. Now we talked about their ability to score quickly. How's 7 seconds sound, Jason?
Yeah, that definitely is quick. That was a great play call. You don't get any better than that. If you can call a play where your wide receiver is running wide open with an end zone right next to him, great play call.
Now we do have a flag on the field, and it's an encroachment on the defense. Declined. 27-39 is where the score is going to remain with 11:53 on the clock in the final quarter of action. So here comes Bradshaw Christian. They've already tried 2 onside kicks that have both failed. Now, on the other side, though, they have not had any luck stopping John Abelos, who has 5 touchdowns on the ground and 1 through the air. He has been the most dominant force on the field, and we're going to see if they decide here, Jason, to either try another onside kick or take their chances going up against this other offense.
Yeah, I don't know which one is worse, giving the ball to John Abelos with a short field or missing the onside kick. Both of them would be huge. So if I'm Bradshaw Christian, as much as I haven't stopped Abelos throughout the entire day, I'm going to try to kick this as far as I possibly can. So let's see what happens.
I like your style, Jason. Faith in the defense. Here's the kickoff now for Bradshaw Christian. Armando Velarde. His hands are up. It's down, and it's going to be a squib kick that's craftily caught by number 23 for the team, Markel Dinkins, pardon.
Yeah, what a catch by Dinkins. He was able to get his hands out there. I was almost expecting it to possibly just bounce off of him and be a live ball, but nonetheless, he put on enough stickum on his hands there on the sideline, and it just stuck right to him. Good play by Dinkins.
Yeah, he definitely he caught it like a running back catches a pitch. It was around chest level, and that, like you mentioned, is dangerous to be bouncing off the numbers, but he had confidence in his hands, and maybe he's telling the coach, hey, put me in a little more often.
Yeah, he definitely looked good with his hands on that play.
Spread offense. 3 wide receivers on the bottom of your screen. Bradshaw Christian's showing blitz, but they decide to pull it back. Abelos breaking to the outside, ditches a cornerback, gets a block, and waltzes past the first down. Gain of 11. More yards racking up for him.
Yeah, I'm beginning to see a lot of disappointment on the face of Bradshaw Christian when they cannot bring down John Abelos. We had number 22 on the outside, who I don't have a name for on my roster for Bradshaw Christian. But nonetheless, he was back there. He had the quarterback in his sights, just wasn't able to bring him down. John Abelos made a couple of nice moves and got past him and was able to pick up the first down.
3 down linemen, 6 defensive backs. And Abelos again sees the same hole and takes it. His shoelace tackle brings him down at the 27.
Yeah,
and that's going to move the chains again.
When that kid gets moving, it's real dangerous. He gets those legs moving and those feet are churning, and he's getting downfield mighty quick, and he's hard to take down. I'm pretty sure anytime we've seen him reach his full speed capacity, there hasn't been any good solid tackle. It's all been shoestring and just barely pulling him down. So It's definitely
Shotgun formation is handed off to Greg Eason, who's able to get to the outside. And there was what looked like a dirty block here going toward the touchdown. I'm not entirely sure what happened. I was watching the ball. He did make his way into the end zone. However, there's an injured player for Bradshaw Christian. Injury timeout. Going to need to hear from the referee on why there's a flag on the field.
he called it a holding.
So it was a holding, and that is going to come back. But if it is holding, I'm trying to figure out why Gabe Miranda is having trouble getting up.
Yeah, obviously it might have been a little bit dirtier, but yeah, he's still going to give us another holding signal. So the holding is going to be the call. Nonetheless, probably a little bit of extracurricular activity going on in that holding call. So
Miranda's going to get up. He's hobbling, guarding that right foot. And, that the lower leg injuries can be anything. That is a complicated area of the human body. But still, he's getting off with the help of the training staff. And with 11:13 on the clock, the Pride are going to take another attempt here to try to stop this steaming Scott's offense.
yeah, luckily for that penalty, they took away that touchdown because they definitely got another good run on that last play.
3 down linemen again, 3 linebackers. Shotgun formation, and it's going to be a screen pass over to the far side of the field. Breaking 1 tackle, breaking 2, staying on his feet is Sean Walker, who's going to gain about 3 or 4 after that.
One stat to look at for these Scots is yards after catch. Pretty much all these players, they just give them the opportunity to do their own stuff, get behind some blockers and run upfield. A couple of long passes downfield, but not too many. They like to run those short screens and let their wide receivers do all the work, and it seems to be working here, leading 39-27 with 10 minutes, 40 seconds to go in this game.
Shotgun formation, and here comes the Pride defense, but somehow he's going to stay on his feet, full head of steam. Bradshaw Christian, Jason, had maybe 4 sets of hands on this quarterback, but they were not able to bring him down till the end.
Yeah, he is just looking ridiculous. He turned a loss of 12 into maybe a gain of 1, maybe even a no gain. No, it looks like he gained 2 yards. So, man, I don't know. I don't know what to do to stop this John Avalos, but they definitely need to figure it out.
I think 3 down linemen may be a difficult situation because as there looked like a defensive tackle diving for the ball there. But I think he's going to get called for an encroachment. And indeed that's the case. The Chains are going to be moving forward on 3rd down. Or not the Chains, pardon, but the down marker.
Yeah, that's definitely making this 3rd down a little bit easier, as it was a 3rd and it looked like
about 17. Now it's going to be about closer to 3rd and 12.
Yeah. So that was number 38 for Bradshaw Christian, who jumped.
Kiawe Ifan.
Yeah, he is
a tough one.
He's a little guy. I was just trying to look at what he's in here listed at, and he is listed at 5'5", 185 pounds as a sophomore, and that is a defensive lineman, ladies and gentlemen.
Defensive nose tackle at that in a 4-3 situation, and perhaps that size discrepancy is part of the reason why Avalos has been able to find plenty of holes coming up the middle.
Yeah, I'm going through the roster here for Bradshaw Christian, and I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 6 players that are listed higher, or listed at 6 feet and up. So on a roster of like 27 people, and you only have 6 people that are at least 6 feet tall, that is definitely a short team.
Definitely working with what they got out here, but despite their size, it seems like they have some clever coaching techniques that keep them competitive, as they are currently 2-1 in league.
Now, like I said earlier, what the Pride lack in height, they bring back in pride and heart, and they definitely have never once quit on any game that I've seen them play.
10:31 on the clock, 27-39, and a flag comes flying. We don't have a play clock out here on the field, and a false start is being informed to the opposite side of the field, but I think we had a good enough of an angle on it to get it from here in the press booth. And that's going to move him back to where the encroachment took him.
There you go. A lot of penalties here back-to-back in the last couple plays.
Definitely on either side of the ball. So, 3rd and 17. Or actually closer, definitely 17 yards here. 10:31 still on the clock. Shotgun formation for Abelos. As there's a shift on the defensive line. And it does not matter. Abelos is going to move past them and get finally brought down, but I think he got enough for the first.
Man, just great play again by Abelos, just constantly keeping those feet moving, dragging defenders with him, and picking up that first down.
So actually, after the spot, it looks like it's going to be 4th and 2.
Uh-oh. So a big 4th down here for the Christian Pride. They definitely want to get their defense off the field, so let's see if they can't get this stop.
Yeah, I think Bradshaw Christian may have gotten a fortunate spot there. And that's going to be a bruising run up the middle for Greg Eason. And Greg Eason is going to get what appears to be a first down. However, it looks like they want to measure it. And they're looking down, they're liking the spot, and indeed, they're calling an official timeout, which means here comes the chain gang.
Well, I definitely think it would make it a whole lot more interesting game if Bradshaw Christian came up with this stop. So I'm going to vote that they're short. That's my hope.
That's your vote. You want to keep it tight? I like that. We always like to keep it competitive here on PlayOnSports.com. 9:49 on the clock. For those of you just tuning in, as you see on your screen, 39-27 is the score. As the Hillsdale High Scots are currently
they were short.
Just short of a first down, and here comes Bradshaw Christian getting another opportunity. Now they are down by a total of 12 points. So with 9:49 on the clock, this is still a reasonable situation. They have a shot here.
Yeah, maybe that stop was exactly what they needed to powerize their offense and get that momentum on their side. Let's see if they can't go down and send this homecoming crowd home happy with a win.
Logan Newton, the tailback. And Kevin Williams is going to put the ball on the turf. And we have to wait from the referee, as this would be a crucial turnover for Bradshaw Christian.
Man, if the ball goes the Scots' way right here, no, they're calling second down.
They're calling second down. So lucky break for Kevin Williams.
I was going to say, if the ball was going the Scots' way that this time, if I'm a coach, I was going to pray that I had a red flag somewhere to call a challenge, because I definitely think the ground caused that fumble. But nonetheless, Bradshaw Christian was able to retrieve that, and it is a second down and 6.
9:40 on the clock. Bradshaw Christian only with one timeout remaining, despite plenty of time here in the second half. Dragmeyer's going to go into motion, and some late blocking and a flag is going to be shown, and the Scots are pointing that they have the ball, but we're going to have to wait to hear from the referees to inform us on what exactly happened.
It looked like it was a fumbled handoff. We have a chop block.
And a chop block is declined, and it's going to be ball for Highlands High with some great field position and the lead.
Yeah, it looked like a miscommunication between the quarterback and running back. He tried to make the handoff there and ended up putting the ball on the turf. The Scots were able to pick up that fumble. That's huge. That pretty much, I mean, if Scots can put some points, any points up here on the board, that might just seal it.
Back to the spread formation. 3 wide receivers to the right. And the quarterback's going to keep it himself again as a flag comes again flying, as we have had, I can recall, 5 flags within the last game minute, as there's 9:19 on the clock.
Yeah, a lot of yellow out there today.
And it was holding against Highlands High, so it's coming backwards.
One thing I have noticed.
And another flag is coming in late there. And it's thrown again, I think to emphasize that it was thrown in the first place. And boy, was it thrown with authority. And unsportsmanlike conduct is going to bring Highlands High even further back.
Hey, guess what, Greg? That's the same referee that called the last two unsportsmanlike conducts.
I think now this is the time when you want to use a timeout to tell your players, whatever you do, say nothing to this referee. He will not take it.
Yeah, as much as you tell your players that, I'm almost positive that was a sideline penalty because I seen the coach running up the sideline yelling at one of the refs, and then next thing you know, that flag comes flying. So, yeah, he's over there yelling at one of the coaches on the sideline. So, definitely that referee is taking no guff from anybody out here tonight.
Again, now that the ball is placed at the 35-yard line, the team has over 20 yards to go for the first down. Now, that does not seem to be a problem for the quarterback. Avalos is going to slip just short of the 30-yard line. It's going to be second and long still.
They love that play where they put that ball in their running back's belly and then take it right out and start running. It's a good misdirection play. You can't really tell who has the ball. The only problem is I've noticed is when they do that, they don't really give the ball to their running back all the time. Anytime they stick the ball in the belly, the quarterback usually keeps it.
Greg Eason going to go out for a short route, and it's going to be a bad pass coming from Avalos. And perhaps a hamstring kind of tightened up for our wide receiver there, as we're going to have an injury timeout from the referees with 8:34 on the game clock. All the teams now taking a knee, and the player is number 21, Jonathan Altamirano. And he is going to, again, be hobbling off of the field, but he seems like he's okay. Again, we'll keep an eye out to see if he comes back to the field. Something we don't like to see, but play continues. Blitz coming in from the linebackers. Avalos has plenty of time. He's going to throw it to the middle of the field. Dropped pass from Sean Walker. And that's going to make it third and super long.
Yeah, that's one of those cases, Greg, where he tried to make the catch, turn around, and start running before he completely had the ball in there. He was thinking yards after catch, and little did he know he didn't even complete the catch all the way. So you definitely got to make sure you see that ball into your hands, complete the catch before you start moving those legs. Definitely something they teach you early in football.
It's not a situation when you want to be looking down at empty hands when you think something's in them. 8:30 now on the clock. Deep step back for Avalos, and he's going to dump off a screen to Jesse Altamirano. That's that number 6-8 switch again, Greg Eason. And that's going to be not enough for the first down, so it's going to be a turnover on downs despite the big game.
A lot of turnover on downs here today. I don't think we've seen a single punt. I don't know if we have.
I think I can recall one, but if you told me I was wrong, I believe you.
Yeah, I'll call one just to give it the shadow of a doubt. But there hasn't been too much punting from either side of the ball. Lots of going forward on fourth down. And we've seen at least an easy 3 turnover on downs from both sides of the ball.
Greg Cott alongside Jason Patterson, Will McCombs, Tim King doing the studio work. Here's going to be a keeper for Williams. And he's going to be able to turn it into a little bit of something, but it might be a loss of 1, second and long.
I'm a little surprised to see that they haven't gone back to a couple passes. Their touchdowns have been on a couple of good passes. They caught Romero wide open on a very nice trickery play on that last touchdown. I'm a little surprised we haven't seen them try a couple more passes. They've definitely tried a lot of runs. And when you're doing that power running game and you don't have the size advantage on that offensive line compared to the defensive line, it begins to wear on your offense. So let's see if they don't switch it up here with 7 minutes 53 seconds to go in the fourth quarter.
As it seems like the two head coaches are going to take a time to talk things over. I mean, from this point, we can only guess what is going on. I mean, perhaps, I believe they sent a trainer over to help with some medical equipment, perhaps just sharing bandages or whatever, but play is going to continue. That's going to be a handoff to Kyle Betts, who thought he had progress, but he ran into a lot of bodies. And that's going to be another down wasted.
Yeah, again, another good defensive play by the Scots. They're all over that running game of the Bradshaw Christian Pride. So if I'm the Pride here, I try a play action. I try something. Try something downfield.
3rd and 9 is not where they want to be, Jason. And I mean, I see that Grant Dragmeyer just came back into play. And an end around is going to be turned into a sack that was a play action. But obviously, Highlands High was ready for that to be a pass, and they just opened the floodgates on that one.
Yeah, one thing I have noticed is the defense from the Scots, they are not playing any deep safeties. So they've got their safeties up. Their safeties are about 15 to 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. So not expecting any kind of deep balls here from the Pride. So if I'm the Pride, maybe I play action, a flat, or maybe not a play action, excuse me, but a pump fake to a receiver in the flats and look downfield for maybe a long bomb or something.
Long field is all they can do here with 4th and 14. 6:23 on the clock. Williams is going to drop back, roll out, throws to the opposite side of the field where he has Romero. Romero breaks several tackles, but he is going to come up short of even the original line of scrimmage despite an athletic effort, and that's going to be another turnover on downs.
TOD, a lot of those today.
Indeed, that's going to be a glaring stat category for both coaches. Even the one who has dropped, even the team that has dropped 39 points. So here comes John Avalos, who is having the game of his life tonight. For those of you just tuning in, 6 total touchdowns, 5 on the ground, 1 through the air as he calls an audible to the line of scrimmage. 4 wide receivers, 1 in motion. He's going to keep it himself, sees the hole, breaks a tackle, finally brought down around the 7-yard line.
Yeah, I've noticed later here in the game that Avalos has been doing a couple slides, and he's just trying to keep that clock moving. He's not trying to score like he was earlier in the game. You definitely see the smartness kicking in as we have a holding call against the Scots. So that's going to move it on back. So yet again, another small penalty for the Scots. But nonetheless, like I said, smart play by Avalos. He is pulling the ball down, getting yards, but he's staying in bounds, and he's not going for the touchdown. He wants to keep that clock moving. He knows his team's ahead, and all he's got to do is take the time off the clock, and he goes home with a W.
6:06 on the clock. 1st and 20. Ball is on the 25. Now Avalos this time is going to give it to his running back, who's going to go all the way up the middle, and he is going to score. Greg Eason finally gets his time to go, and he gets a great touchdown, had the whole field in front of him.
Yeah, that's one thing I was talking about earlier. They never really actually stuck it into the running back's belly there and gave it to him. That time they did, and sure enough, a huge hole right in the middle because they were probably all expecting Avalos to still pull down that ball. But again, it looks like they're going to go for 2 here.
They are going to go for 2 with 45 points. They want to really put this out of reach. 6 minutes on the clock. Motion called, dime package in for Bradshaw Christian. And Avalos is going to keep it himself and run in the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So that makes the score 47-27 with that 20-point lead. The 40 burger's been dropped, and here comes the kickoff team.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here. So we have the Highlands Scots leading the Bradshaw Christian Pride 47-27 with 6 minutes to go in this ball game at Bradshaw's Christian's homecoming game here at the Field of Dreams is what we're going to like to call it. Out here, if there was corn surrounding this place, it would be 100% fitting. It is a football field just out of a big patch of grass that they happen to put some chalk down and a couple purple end zones and some goalposts, and we are good to go.
Also converted to a soccer field, if my judgment of what the paint is showing. Kickoff going to be from the far hash mark. And the kick is going to go up and deep, and that's going to go back to Betts.
No.
Fumbled ball, and indeed, as the fingers are pointing, we can see it from here. Highlands High is going to get on top of it with 5:56 on the clock.
Yeah, that was just the case where Betts he again started running before he got the ball. Just happened to bounce right off of his chest and his knee, and he coughed it up, and the Scots were able to fall on it. 5 minutes, 56 seconds to go. Scots with the ball. Let's see if Abelos can't put some more points up.
47-27 is the score after that 2-point conversion, and then the muffed kickoff return. Abelos going to keep it himself, runs into several tackles, but even though they were ready for the play, he was able to gain 2 yards by squeezing through 4 Bradshaw defenders.
Yeah, and another thing to notice, even after the last touchdown where the running back got the ball and ran through, they still did not cover him on that play. They still were all over the quarterback. They don't care pretty much if you're going to give it to the running back.
And indeed, they do give it to the running back this time. Isan's going to find his way into the end zone for the second time. And that is going to pretty much do it, ladies and gentlemen. 53-27, 5:25 on the clock. Bradshaw Christian with 1 timeout left. They'd really need a Field of Dreams level miracle to get themselves out of this mess.
Yeah, that's the exact play that they ran for the last touchdown. When you have a defense focusing on one player so much, just use him as pretty much a decoy. You know, just let everybody think that he's going to touch the ball every time and then give it to somebody else. There is 10 other people on the field at all times, so if you focus on one person, there are 10 people that can hurt you in other ways.
53-27 quickly becomes 54-27.
Man, that scoreboard doesn't exactly show how close it was throughout this game. 54-27, that's a blowout score right there, but Bradshaw Christian Pride, they were sticking in there nicely throughout this whole time, just giving up a couple touchdowns here. They really weren't able to get their offensive moving. They never really had the offensive momentum they wanted throughout this game. They were able to put up a couple points, getting 27 up there, but 27 proving to be not enough as the opponents, the Scots, putting up 54 points. The game's not even over yet, 5.5 minutes to go. With the explosive offense and defense from the Scots, I wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe another touchdown here.
Yeah, it could really go. I mean, who can score next at this point? You know, I could see Bradshaw Christian scoring quickly as they've done before, but I think that this is one of the bigger disadvantages of being on a smaller team, Jason, where it seems like they were able to hang tough until their team just kind of got tired, and then they couldn't keep up with the speed of the Scots.
Yeah, this homecoming crowd starting to thin out a little bit.
And the kick is going to go deep. Back to Betts. He's going to drop it again, but it's going to be called a touchback despite it being fumbled at the 3-yard line. And that's going to give them the ball at the 20-yard line, have another opportunity to try to break 30 points here.
Yeah, that time Betts got a little bit luckier. The ball was fumbled behind him instead of bouncing off his chest and moving forward. So he was able to recover that fumble and nonetheless get the ball back into his offense's hands. Let's see if we can't get some points to lift a little bit morale here. Let's see if we can't try to go down and get something for this crowd to cheer about. So let's see if Bradshaw Christian can't put some points up, make this a little bit less disheartening.
4 down linemen and 2 blitzing outside linebackers means they're ready for the run. But here comes the encroachment call. Again, more penalties being called on the Scots. It really seems like the Pride here have been able to get a lot of things to go their way. But
besides the scoreboard.
And that's kind of the thing. It's just, you know, they've played smart, they've done well, but honestly, it's just being down 27-54 has got to be a hard situation for these kids out there. And a flag comes down as a run goes to the right. I think that's going to be a holding call.
Yeah, there's been a lot of penalties this game.
5:19 on the clock. I believe there are a total of 3 timeouts between the 2 teams left. However, I can't anticipate the Scots using their 2. Kevin Williams meeting with his coach on the sideline while the referees sort this out. And a chop block is going to be called against Bradshaw Christian to the surprise of head coach Drew Rickert. But again, that's going to be another penalty that's going to move him really far back and put this game even further out of reach. cheerleaders continuing to show their enthusiasm at this point. Also, for those of you locals interested in Bay Area sports, San Francisco Giants did win tonight to a score of 5-0, keeping their playoffs hopes alive, and they will be coming home back to San Francisco. Also, to my friend Jason, congratulations on a good season with the Oakland A's.
Thank you. That was a nice gem pitch by Bearzito tonight.
So Williams is going to keep the ball himself with the keeper. And he's going to make it near the original line of scrimmage, making it 2nd and 10. So Bradshaw Christian now kind of starting from a hurry-up offense. However, their head coach is walking out to the field. He's near the hash mark. I think that just means it is an injury timeout, as I did not see with the team crowded around. And that looks like it's Grant Dragmeyer, if I'm not mistaken.
Looks like he's favoring his left ankle.
And all of the teams are taking a knee. Once again, more injuries coming from both sides of the ball.
A lot of smash mouth football here tonight.
Yeah, again, this was a really honestly fought game. Both teams coming out trying their hardest as the clock dwindles down. But because that's an injury, and indeed that was Dragmeyer, still favoring that leg. And he's going to get help off from the training staff. So now that he is okay, we anticipate the applause coming from the audience. And indeed, there it is. So that means going onto the field is going to be Dane Wimbrant. Now, Dane Wimbrant is listed at 6'4" and 170. So kind of skinny for his height, but he still does have a height advantage over the defensive backs of the Scots. Going to be a run this time to what looks like Kyle Betts. And his end around isn't going to go anywhere, 3rd and long.
Yeah, one thing we pointed out earlier is the Jacoby Hawkins not playing number 24 for Bradshaw Christian being their leading runner. And it is definitely shown not too many solid plays on running. I remember they had that one play to Dragmeyer with the huge hole in the middle where he gained at like 40 to 50 yards. But besides that one play, there hasn't really been much on the rushing for Bradshaw Christian. Under center is Williams, and he's going to fit his target to the outside, and that is Betts again, getting the first down. So first down for Bradshaw Christian. 3:49 on the clock as they try to make something out of these final drives. Yeah, that was a good play by Betts. He was able to get open and turn around and find the ball, catch it, pick up those first down. So good play by Betts, still showing that heart that the Pride has had throughout this entire game, never letting down, trying to go down and get these points.
So the ball is going to be spotted at the 34-yard line. And it looks like the defense for the Scots is more than ready. 3 down linemen with 2 outside linebackers. Same offensive formation with a deep motion. But Williams is going to throw deep to the outside, and he does not hit his target of Betts. Betts ran the route. He was open. But Williams couldn't quite hit him in time, and now it's going to be 2nd down.
I like the play call there. It was a play action on a fake pitch. Definitely had a couple wide receivers open, just wasn't able to complete the pass. That height being a little bit of a problem. It's kind of hard to see over that tall defensive line. He's also not getting a whole lot of time to make some plays happen. His offensive line's not giving him a whole lot of time. He's not giving him the best of pockets. So maybe if they give him a little bit more time, maybe he will find somebody downfield. But nonetheless, a lot of tight formations, a lot of pretty much guaranteed run plays every time.
3:18 on the clock. Double handoff is going to go around to what looked like number 1 on the roster, who has been having some injuries, of Josh Catt. However, it's good to see him back out on the field, and it's going to be 3rd and long, though. So 2:57 on the ticking game clock. Bradshaw Christian not using their final time, or they did indeed use their, my apologies. They have not used their final timeout. The last one, I believe, was due to injury. So if I'm keeping track well enough, as I'm starting to learn the difficulties of those replacement referees in the NFL who had trouble keeping a timeouts himself. Now Williams is going to keep it himself, fake the pitch, hurdles to make it 4th and 4, and I expect to see the offense come back out trying to make a 4th down conversion.
There was actually Betts on the run there. He actually looked like he was going to maybe run an option, so a wide receiver option play, definitely a little something interesting, but nonetheless, it was able to pick up a couple yards. Let's see if they can't pick up this first down here.
Ball on the 40, 2:11 on the clock. Williams calls the play, calls motion. He's going to push, and he gets all the way through for a gain of 10 yards on the quarterback keeper.
Wow. That play looked so well. I don't know why they don't run that every single play.
Yeah, I might try that a few more times, as that was really impressive, and it just seemed like the Scots weren't at all ready for it.
Especially on a 4th down. That was a gutsy play call, and it worked out. That was nice.
I was really impressed. Minute 48 on the clock, 27-54. Williams going to drop back to pass, stays on his feet, able to break tackles. He's going to work his way downfield, diving to the 30-yard line. Great effort on his part. And the clock's going to stop to move the chains, and they have a chance to score here.
Yeah, that was all Williams on that play. He had no time and no pocket. He had to make a couple people miss in the backfield, was able to get downfield, move the chains. Good play by Williams. Again, if I'm the offensive line, I'm trying to give my quarterback a little bit more time to do something. But the size of that defensive line is just proving too much.
Williams going to throw out 2 Betts. Betts is going to spin off of a tackle and get to the 22-yard line. The clock's going to keep moving, though, at a minute 18.
Yeah, Betts has definitely been the workhorse with Jacoby Hawkins out. He's definitely been the guy to get the ball on any key plays.
So minute 4, clock continues to roll. As it looks like we have a new tailback in this situation. But it's going to be a throw down the middle, and that was nearly caught by Josh Catt. He was able to get a hand on it. However, it was a bit overthrown. The clock's going to stop at 51.3, and it's going to be 3rd and short.
Yeah, just a little bit too much air on that by Williams. He had Catt open. Probably would have been 6 had he put just a little bit less air on that. Nonetheless, a good play. Again, I believe Bradshaw Christian, if they would have been able to get a little bit more time for their quarterback, he would have been able to find a couple people downfield throughout this entire game. This game could have been a whole lot different, I think, if you give your quarterback a little bit of time back there.
Speaking of quarterback's going to keep it himself and run. Kevin Williams looks like he does get the first down, though.
Another penalty flag.
But another penalty flag indeed.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious to know what the penalty numbers for both teams are.
It's definitely gotten to the point where I've not been able to keep count. And this penalty is actually going to be on the defense.
I would definitely think Highlands has more penalties.
I think that's safe to say. It's not too much of a gambling man, but I think that I'd take that one. 44.9 on the clock. It's stopped after the penalty, and that's going to make it a 1st and goal from the 10. The chains are no longer needed. Williams is going to fake the run, tries to hit Romero in the end zone, but it bounces off his fingertips, thrown over the wrong shoulder. 2nd down with 37.5 on the clock.
He had Romero open, but it almost seemed like Romero was not expecting the throw to go his way. Definitely found the ball a little late, wasn't able to get complete control over it, and it just was tipped out of the back of the end zone.
So again, a different setup here, and Catt moves backward. However, it looks like it's going to be a pass rolling out, overthrowing his target. Again, he goes for Romero in the end zone. 32 on the frozen clock, 3rd and goal.
Yeah, that play was dangerous. He threw the ball across the middle and made his receiver jump for it. Anytime you're a wide receiver and your quarterback puts you across the middle and makes you leap for it, you kind of tell him, hey, bro, I definitely don't want to get tackled really hard by those middle linebackers coming across the middle. So let's try to keep me on my feet when I'm coming across the middle. But nonetheless, he had his receiver open, just put a little bit too much air on it again. It looks like he's almost getting excited to see these receivers running open so late in the game. He's just not able to make the
And a double handoff is fumbled, and it's ran in the other direction. Being chased down is number 22 for the Highland Scots, Tyrone Gilbert. Ladies and gentlemen, he just took a fumble 95 yards, and that's all she wrote. 17.7 on the clock as he did take it all the way.
Yeah, that was a handoff to Betts, Kyle Betts, who just happened to not get his hands all the way on it, put the ball on the turf, and number 22 for the Scots was able to pick it up, take it all the way back for a long fumble return for a touchdown. Just pretty much exactly how the game's been going for Bradshaw Christian. Drive the ball down, do good, and then something bad happens.
In the red zone.
Right, and the Scots take advantage of it.
They have been on top of their game. So with 60-27 now, many of these points scored for the Scots in the fourth quarter. 17.7 on the clock, but again, that's pretty much going to do it as the kick goes up, and it is good, 61-27. 17.7 on the clock, and we're just going to have probably a few plays after a kickoff. But how this is going to do in terms of league play, Bradshaw Christian has moved to 3-5 overall. However, 2-2 in their league, while their league opponents are going to be moved to 4-1, 5-4 overall in the season. Now the same team set to return for Bradshaw Christian in Betts and Romero. Betts typically the return man throughout the game. So the ball's set on the 40 on the far hash mark. As the kicking unit comes out, and it's going to be kicked, squibbed, bounced to the second line. And that's going to be number 1, Josh Catt, who's going to break a few tackles, but ultimately get tackled at the 34.
So the ball goes back to the Bradshaw Christian with 12.9 seconds to go in the game, down 27-61. Just a blowout here on the homecoming. It's kind of disheartening because Bradshaw Christian was in the game throughout the whole thing.
They played hard, for sure.
It kind of just folded here in the fourth quarter. John Abelos and this explosive Scots whole team just pretty much proved too much. That offense is just really explosive. It's really hard to stop. So good play nonetheless by Bradshaw Pride. They were in it the whole game. Definitely made it interesting.
Yeah, John Abelos responsible for the team's first 40 points almost single-handedly. But then there were 2 rushing touchdowns that went to Greg Eason, followed by that fumble recovered by Tyrone Gilbert, and he was able to take it to the house from 95 yards away. So Bradshaw Christian coming out in the formation to take a knee, and that is really going to do it. So the final score, 27 for Bradshaw Christian, but they fall rather short to Highlands High Scots, where they drop 61 points. Now we're going to be back with some post-game action where we're going to pick our player of the game. Keep it right here on your laptop keyboards. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back after this. Again, final score is 61-27.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP. We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as this night wraps up. It was a disappointing loss for Bradshaw Christian as they do tack on another loss, bringing them 2-2 in league play. But there's still plenty of season to go, 4-4 overall. And the final score being 61-27. I'm Greg Cotta alongside Jason Patterson. Now, the story of the day, Jason, I think it's going to only go to one person. Why don't you take it away from here?
Yeah, number one, John Avalos, the quarterback slash everything man for the Scots over there. We are unfortunately unable to get him for a player of the game interview as we're running low on battery power, but nonetheless, let's talk about his game today. 5 rushing touchdowns, 1 in the air. Him alone took care of the score from the Bradshaw Christian Pride. Pretty much he could have beat them, well, I wouldn't say by himself, but the score alone that he put up was better than the whole team score for Bradshaw Christian. So the kid is just obviously somebody that is a huge weapon for the Scots. That is ridiculous. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody with 5 rushing touchdowns and a throwing touchdown, and being a quarterback, he still touched the ball on the other 2 touchdowns too. So
yeah, it really, and also on those 2 touchdowns, it was an option. So he definitely to the running back who ran it in. So he did everything himself. It really was an impressive individual effort, something that I haven't seen so far covering football this season. So definitely congratulations to him. He is our obvious player of the game. The Highlands High moves to 5-4 on the season and 4-1 in league, so they are really climbing toward the top of their rankings. And I think it's just safe to say that when you have a guy like John Avalos, who is one of the most athletic people in the area, some things are going to be a lot easier, such as running the ball 80 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah, when you have a quarterback who's your leading rusher, that's obviously a great weapon to have. Because knowing the game of football, the game is running or passing, and if you can have a kid that can do both, literally, I think if it was possible, if he could throw the ball to himself, he would be able to do that as well. So the kid can just do everything on the football field. He looks real good, and I definitely would not be surprised to hear his name for years to come.
Yeah, we're definitely going to look forward to that. Now, we will be back on the next Friday night, and we'll be doing plenty of sports on PlayOnSports.com, something that you have to look forward to at home. We will also be hosting championship events for several sports in the area in the Sac-Joaquin section. So from Northern California in the Sacramento area, we are going to say goodnight. Again, the final score is 61-27. Bradshaw Christian falling short of Highlands High Scots. For Jason Patterson, Will McCombs, and Tim King, thank you so much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, and have a good night.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.